Yeah, everyone is here to see me. Yeah. Oh, I'm so excited.
Corner.
I got something cool to share. Don't let me forget to
What
share.
do you have?
And it's not
What is
Arnold's
it?
dong. Look,
Wow,
no,
look
it's
at me.
not.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
so
look.
Yes,
I'm so
not the
ripped.
real one,
I'm
a
shredded.
replica.
What is this?
Oh, wait,
Right?
hold on.
My brother got a Conan sword.
No way.
Look at
That's it. That's the one.
That's
Yes,
the
it
riddle of
is!
steel.
That's
Isn't that cool?
amazing.
Sword.
And it's-
Badass.
It's actually sharp. Like, this is a legit sword.
Oh, yeah?
This is not a prop. It's a legit sword.
Can we
So
see
that's
the
a-
handle?
that's a-
Probably
Can we see
weighs
the handle again? Can you hold
exactly
it?
the same
Can
amount.
you hold it between your eyes like
Wow,
Arnold?
Sin, that's amazing.
That's legit.
Takes out the-
That was a good shing.
Yeah,
The
hold
shing
it between your
scores.
eyes. No, like sideways. So I want to
It's
see
10
the
out of 10.
filigree.
Can you
Great.
see that?
So Conan's dad made that.
Nice relief.
Dude, we gotta
Yeah.
see Matt holding it. Cause
Oh my god.
I told
That's
you know.
epic.
I told
Go get
Matt,
him.
I
Go
told,
get him.
He's at the gym.
No,
That makes sense.
Typical.
it's not
told-
okay.
Sin yelling
told-
is scary.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was that too
No,
loud?
I'm just
I'm
kidding.
sorry.
No,
No,
I'm
it's fine.
just kidding.
I told him that he needed to show up on the live stream wielding this sword. So if he comes back, I'm going to have him, even if we're talking about something else, I'm going to have him come
Yep.
hold this sword. He said
Yep.
he flung it around a little bit in his living room, which is kind of scary because the ceilings aren't very tall, but it's it's cool. And it
Don't touch
weighs
the-
probably about
touch
as
the
much
blade
as the
with your
sword
hand.
in the movie did, which is about 11 pounds.
Okay.
Yeah.
There is a sword.
Anyway.
It can be it's bad for iron. It can be bad for
He's
hand.
been
Oh,
making a wielding sword all his life.
that's great. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Hey, hello.
I think it's like the oils from your hand will like make it rust
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could,
Okay,
yeah.
real quick. Let's review
Oh, yeah.
what we
Sorry.
are talking about today.
I
So
was so
Conan
happy,
is going to be
excited to show
first.
this off. Yes.
Yes, it's amazing. We'll have to see Matt wield it. He will make it look like a toothpick. Yeah. So I hope everyone in the audience did your homework. We watched
listened
Conan
to
the
and
Barbarian,
watched.
Young Guns, and is it The Adventures of
Buckaroo
Buckaroo
Banzai across the 8th dimension.
Across the
Yes.
8th dimension. Okay, so we watched those three. I hope you all did too. So make sure in the comments that you leave your rating number out of 10 and tell us which
Yes.
movie you're talking about. Okay?
Yes.
We have a special guest today, Justin Thomas James, who will be reviewing Conan with us. So we're going to go first with that. What was supposed to be our extra credit, though?
Tall box.
I think the extra credit was Buckaroo Banzai.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
once.
All right, cool. So, and that was for Earth Force, right? That was because of Earth Force.
Yes.
That was for
Yeah.
the other guys.
Yeah.
Loosely
Was
associated
it?
with
I thought
Earth
it was
Force.
for Earth Force.
No, Young Guns.
That's what I said.
Is
Yeah.
I thought someone said the other guys.
No,
Okay.
Buckaroo Banzai, so you want to be a hero.
Oh, and Young
Oh,
Guns
it was?
for
Oh,
Flamespitter.
right, because of the bard, right?
Right,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay, well,
The bard.
makes a little more sense. All right, so yeah, guys, give us your rating out of 10 for all three of those movies. Make sure that you label them clearly so that Rich puts them in the right spots. And, we'll do our own review and we'll tell you how right or wrong you were about it
Yeah.
as an audience.
Oh my god.
Okay, guys,
That's a fun one.
do we want since we got Justin as our special guest, should he kick it off, or
Yes.
should
Yes.
Sin
Yes.
kick it off because it's her show and because this is an Arnold movie, so it's her territory?
But
This
it
is-
doesn't
this
have
is
to
her
be all
territory.
about me.
Make
It doesn't
them
have
fight
to be all
for it.
about me.
Yes, it
doesn't,
does.
but you
Sin-
have
you-
dibs.
you
so
have
Sin,
the sword.
Sin
saying-
shares the corner.
you have the
So-
you have the dibs on this.
So if I have dibs, then I can pass them to Justin then.
yes, exactly.
Pass.
Okay.
Okay,
Pass
I'm
the
going to pass
Zebes.
it to Justin because he has. I think you'd never watched this movie, right, Justin?
I'm a huge Arnold fan, and I've never seen the Conan
Don't say but.
Barbarian.
Shameful.
Or
You can't
any,
be a
any of
fan
the other
and then bump.
Conans either. But I've played the video game, but he's sorely missing from it. So, yeah.
Video game?
Is this
Okay,
the
Justin.
MMO?
So what were your
Hello.
thoughts?
Okay,
Arnold?
I had a few
What did
notes.
you think about your movie?
I took some
Hang on,
notes.
I
Do
don't
I have to
know
rate
who
it? Do I have to
He
rate?
wants
at the
No, no, no,
end.
no.
second glass of wine.
Yeah,
the
wait
end.
till the end.
Okay.
Wait till we've all said our piece, and then we will ask for ratings.
Okay, so I made bullet point. I've been asked to do the entire review in my Arnold impression, so I'm going to do my best to try to do that until I get sick of it, which is happening right now. Okay, my first note is they don't make movies like they used to, and I don't know what it is, but the intro, like the like sweeping score and like do like that's just the
sword.
Terminator 2 sound effects, but
Dun, dun,
but
dun, dun, dun,
yeah,
It was
and
kinda
like the
yep.
forging of the forging of the
Yeah.
that sword, like it's just like, oh, this is cool. Like that's an actual blacksmith doing that probably. Like this is awesome. So like that definitely, kudos to just real live effects. Just actually they were building a sword there in that scene. There was no doubt about that. At least for me, at least it looked like it. A note about Basil Polydorus, who is the composer. I think that's how you pronounce his name.
Polydorus. Yeah,
I was a bit taken aback by the whole suite of music in the intro sequence, where it's like there's like a village like being ransacked and his dad is getting murdered and all this stuff, and like the enemies are riding through the woods, and for whatever reason the music to me did not line up with what was happening. It was too many woodwinds, just too much. It was very like 70s, like it felt more like The Hobbit, like hobbits getting up to mischief. To me,
I felt
It
that way
didn't-
throughout the whole movie with the score too. Yeah.
with the score. Yeah, it
Yeah.
it didn't hit that level of epicness. There were moments that it did click,
Totally.
but it definitely in that beginning scene, I was like, oh, cool. Oh, okay, all right. So the music took me out of it a little bit. I don't know if you can get a picture of young Conan up, but he looks a lot like Nev Campbell. Like
Okay, we got to
Kid-
see that now.
Kid Conan.
I definitely
Yes.
didn't see,
Okay, I'm
Nev
picturing him
Campbell.
now.
I didn't see that at all
What?
in him.
Maybe-
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we need a
Okay.
side by side now.
Little boy Conan. He's
I don't
he's
know.
a
Little-
Spanish
little
finding
boy.
these
That
pic-
little
I was
kid.
like, wait, is it Nev Campbell? No, it can't
No.
be Nev Campbell. Why would they cast
It was a little
Nev Campbell?
Spanish boy because they filmed this
Yeah.
in
She was
Spain.
probably not.
I was gonna say they did not give that kid a single line.
No,
They
no.
said you're not Taki.
Yeah, you are not worthy. James Earl Jones, great hair, and
Great
also
hair.
he's just like, this is one of those roles that I was just like, oh yeah, that's him. Oh yeah, like I always knew he was in this movie, and I never thought of it. I don't think he blinked once in the entire movie.
Wow.
That's
And I was
maybe.
watching.
I didn't pay
There's
attention to
Nev
that.
Campbell.
Yeah, you're right. That's who that is. Clearly.
For us now,
Maybe.
yeah.
Well, we
There'll
can
be
check
another
the
one.
credits. I feel like you're wrong.
No, it's not Nev. It's
Yeah,
not
no,
Nev
it's not.
Guys,
Campbell.
not.
it's
100%.
absolutely not. It was the little Spanish boy. I told you.
But if you Google
really-
little
I really hope
Spanish
he
boy,
doesn't-
you'll see Nev Campbell.
Yeah,
You'll see what
that's
I
right.
Conan.
There he is, Jorge Sanz.
Jorge Sanz.
Yeah,
I
see,
really
he
wanted
still
his
looks
name
like
to
her.
be
He
listed
still
as
looks like her.
little Spanish boy.
Like Nev Campbell.
Yeah, dude. Okay, we got to see it now. We look. Okay,
Yeah.
so there's
That's not
no,
Nev
not
Campbell.
that picture of him.
I think
We need
we're
a child.
I think we're gonna go
Matt says
through a
he'll be
lot
home
of
in a few
his
minutes,
discography. Okay, we'll get to see
This
Matt
one,
with
this
the
one right
sword.
here. That's the one where he looks like Nev
Jorge.
Campbell.
Yeah, that one.
What?
That one right
Get
there.
out of here.
So
Oh.
yeah, just
Yeah,
find-
he kind of like a adult Nev Campbell now. Okay, moving on with the review. While you're trying to find a picture of young Nev Campbell, giant snake prop. That was pretty convincing. I was actually like, all right, 80s, like not
Yeah.
not
practical
bad.
effects
Like
weren't too bad. Mhm.
it actually, like, there were moments where I was like, okay, that's a bit awkward, but
Snake.
all in all, I thought that the practical graphics were great. I have a note here that just says softcore. I don't know what that could refer
yes.
to.
Oh, the sex
The
scene.
entire movie.
The sex scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The sex scenes. There were multiple.
Were there?
There were.
Yeah.
there were
There's the
two.
witch. There's the witch at the
Oh, there
beginning.
were
an
three.
actual
That's
sex
right.
scene?
There were three. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
the witch at the
No,
beginning.
no.
The
I love
the-
she was giving his like her like, map quest directions while getting like plowed. She's like,
Yeah.
crossroads. That was incredible.
Actually, there were really only two because the first one
There's
it
the
didn't
snake.
show anything happening. It just shows the girl being brought into his cage, which
Oh,
I
yeah.
thought was funny when he sat back and he just looked at her like this.
Yeah, he just like kind of like
oh, what is this?
ushered her in, like, sit here.
And then he set her down, and then he like went back.
This is a very thorough review, as you can tell. Did you guys notice how many animals he punched and
Yes.
kissed?
I only noticed
Yes!
one.
This was my. I have a whole note
He like,
on that.
he
Yeah.
like socked a camel at one point.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that was like a
Okay.
practical effect or what, but like,
Did you know this
then there's,
camel
like-
shows up in the second one?
Oh,
And
that's
he
like
the
punches
same
it
camel?
again. It's supposed to be.
oh,
the same.
it's a gag.
funny.
It's a gag.
Yeah.
There was
Yeah.
another one where they're just walking. There's
It's
this
a horse,
shot.
I think.
There's this shot of like Conan walking, and it's like all serious or whatever, and it's just his feet. You're just watching his feet.
Yes.
And then there's a dog in the way. He just kicks the dog out of the way.
I didn't even notice.
The dog's just like,
Wait. No, I have the animal count right here.
You do,
I
eh?
tell you when I say that I lost my
Animal
shit
count.
when I had to pause the movie because it's like this whole thing she's going through, and he just
This
fucking
review.
nails that camel. But-
Okay, so go ahead.
okay, so first one, yes, legs. He kicks the dog, then KOs the camel, kicks a rat.
Okay.
A chicken tries to get revenge. Nope, he chucks the chicken. And then he goes full vampire on a vulture. And then
oh yeah.
oh yeah, right. He doesn't even eat the vulture. He's like starving.
he's just like,
Well,
"Ah!"
he tried to kill it.
not like
Do you
killing
know
it.
that was a
Kill it and
real,
kill it.
actual dead vulture that he was biting?
Really?
Was it dead before he?
It was
Did it?
dead. It was already
Okay.
dead, and
got
so
it.
he was talking about in between scenes they had
Yeah.
shots. They had to clean him up and clean his mouth and all that stuff. Yeah, it was an actual dead vulture he bit.
I don't know. I think this was before the days of like PETA getting involved in.
I was gonna say the ASPCA
like,
has
movies.
beef with Conan
Yeah.
for sure.
So what's
Yeah,
continue
yeah.
with the count, Ryan? Sorry.
Yeah.
The final one after the vulture is he yeets the snake arrow. He's like, oh, what's this? And just
Yeah,
throws-
yeah, yeah.
I
throws
thought
the snake.
he didn't punch.
Well,
a
and then
horse
there's the
in
giant
final
snake.
battle?
Oh
the
yes, of course.
giant
Then the
snake?
giant snake, of course.
Right.
Yes.
And then he
did that
did
a lot.
look
I'm
at
glad you-
a pack of wolves, like he was like, "Don't fuck with me," and then they left. He didn't.
Yeah.
He didn't have to do it. He was like, "You saw the fucking chicken, right?" And they were like, "Oh,
Him punching the camel's one of my favorite moments in any movie, though.
yep, same."
Oh.
Yeah.
He
that
does
was-
it again, like
that
I said
was-
in the second, where he hits the top of its head because it spits on him.
that
He
was something
tries to
else.
apologize, and it spits on him, and then he just goes boom and hits the top of its.
I don't know how they got the camel to like. I love how this
Oh,
is the
the
part
way
of the
it
movie
keeled
where
over?
I'm like, how did they get the camel to keel over? Like,
Yeah.
this is
is
my
the part of the
favorite
movie
part
where
of
I'm
it.
like, how did they do that effect?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
Has
no, they
nothing
can be
to do with
trained
it.
to do. I mean, off screen, you only saw
That's
its head,
true.
so everything off screen
true.
could have been them pulling it down or helping.
Yeah.
Or it could have
Right.
been not a real camel that they
Yeah.
keeled over.
I do have a note here that the soundtrack did win me over in the end. I don't know. At some point, I got used to it, and by the very end of the movie, I was like, okay, yeah, this is all right. This is all right. It synced up with me. But that's it. That's my whole review. I don't know if that's helpful to anybody who's never seen Conan. If you want to watch
Yes.
it now, but
Watch it for the
there you go.
animal. The animal.
The
count.
animal abuse.
The animal count.
yeah.
So
See if Brian's accurate.
yeah, all right. Who's going next?
I'll
go.
take it.
I'm
Sure.
Ed.
Okay, you go. Go for it.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
No,
so
doesn't
yeah,
matter.
Justin, I noticed that the music too. And my suspicion is that they didn't really have him go through the movie and score specific spots. My assumption is they hired him to make to make the music
Yeah.
without the movie even being there. He made this amazing, I don't know, miniature symphony, and then they cut it up and put it in places.
Yeah, could
That
be.
makes
Could
a
be.
lot of
That-
sense, actually.
That's what I imagine happened, because if you listen to it on its own without the movie, it's
Slaps.
amazing. It's a
Yeah,
great
yeah.
score on its own, but it doesn't quite line up in all the places in the movie. I noticed that, and they reuse it in certain spots, and it's just, I think what they did for the beginning was they were just like, oh yeah, let's just put the whole theme right here, and then cross our fingers and hope that it
Hope it
lines
lines
up pretty well.
Right, right.
So there's that. The way that this movie just constantly moves, I love that. There's no, I never really felt a lull in the action. I don't know about you guys. There was no point that I was like getting bored or anything like that. It just kept going from set piece to set piece. Negative side is no story.
Yeah.
Oh, there was story.
Zero. No.
There
It
was story.
There's a dude named Conan. He wants to kill.
Yeah, it's a revenge story.
Yeah,
That's
right.
what it is.
Yeah.
But
That's
but
exactly
like
what
it's
it
not
is.
like it's not like he was on a path that he put himself on to find the guy. It was just like,
kind of,
okay,
like, happened.
he gets free, and
Well,
he
it's
goes
kind of like
wandering,
Gladiator. That's a
and he
revenge
asks some
story.
people about if they've seen this guy and if they've seen this cult. No one has answers for him, and then all of a sudden, magically, he ends up in their tower because they decided they wanted to steal some shit. So, like, everything is a coincidence as far as the story is concerned in that way, right? Like, he was not on a quest to avenge his parents. It was just like, oh, cool, I get to avenge my parents because there's this guy, right? So, and it's just like, okay, so they go to the tower where the giant snake is. Where do they
Where's
go from
Conan?
there?
Punch that dog.
They
know,
go to the
it's-
tower,
it's
they
probably
meet the
'cause-
girl.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
again,
I'm
the
kidding.
snake.
I don't condone animal
Total
abuse.
coincidence. New character.
That was a
added to-
coincidence.
Yeah, new
yeah.
character just happens to be the same, is stealing from the same tower at the same time.
Right.
So after they leave the tower, they run away from the tower. Where
Yes.
do they end up after that?
They
They go and they
celebrate.
enjoy the spoils of
Oh,
their...
right.
Yes.
They just go celebrate, and then they get
thievery.
arrested.
Right.
No,
Right.
Because they're
no,
celebrating in the
no.
city that they.
No, they
Yes.
just get detained
No,
by the
no.
king because he wants them
king-
for a yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, he wants them to go get his daughter.
It's like a
They knew
summons.
he had
not an
gone-
arrest.
they-
So
gone
so the
in
king,
already.
yes.
Right,
Yes,
okay,
that's
that's
that.
right.
This is maybe
That's right.
the closest thing to a quest. This is the turning
Yeah,
point. I thought
it's a
where
quest.
It felt like it had the direction where it was kind of convenient that he was like, oh, I get to save this guy's daughter and kill the guy. Like, okay,
Yeah. So virtually no story. It's just like, here's Conan and he's doing some stuff. And
Look at those muscles.
but
yeah.
if it weren't Conan, it wouldn't work.
Okay,
don't
hold
think.
on. Conan's
Right.
come in the building. I'm going to turn the camera around.
Oh
Real
yeah, here
Conan.
goes.
See
Here
Matt
goes.
wielding the
Here we
sword.
go.
Okay, please bear with me.
Get ready, everyone. Look at that.
Moses. What a man.
What a man! What a man!
got
What
the
a man!
moves.
What a mighty good man!
He actually kind of looks like Arnold. Matt
little
does.
bit.
He's got a very similar facial structure. So
Little bit.
he's
Let's
going to
go.
try to cosplay as him, but I don't think they'll let him bring the sword in, y'all. 'Cause
Probably
it's
too
a
not.
real-
It's a
I
legit
don't.
weapon.
I don't think they will.
Yeah,
It's too
they
real.
won't. Yeah.
That's
But
a
that
bummer.
is
This was surprisingly light.
I told them it was 10 to 11 pounds, about as heavy as
Yeah.
the sword in the movie.
Is it a bastard sword? What kind of sword is that?
No.
What kind of sword is
No,
it?
no,
I'd say it's a
no.
long sword.
No,
It's
it's
a
not a
longsword?
long sword. It is not a long
great
sword.
sword.
It's number
Is it a-
one, too
is it a
short to be a
claymore?
long sword. It's
great
also
sword.
No
too
idea.
wide. I would say it's a broadsword.
A broadsword?
maybe?
Yeah,
the-
that makes
They're
sense.
That's what
much
Jeff
longer.
thinks.
It is a broadsword.
But
a
it's
broadsword.
long for a broadsword, but I
short.
think it is a broadsword.
Too short.
It's handmade, yeah.
Wow.
And yeah. Where did you
Yeah,
get
that
it
is
again?
eBay.
eBay.
Long swords are also two-handed weapons. That's clearly a one-handed weapon.
Well, Conan was
I think you could do
wielding
it.
his sword with both hands.
He was wielding
yeah.
it with two hands, but it's a
No,
one
but
hand
you know
shot.
what? That
You can
that bottom
add-
part of it, you can grab. You can hold
Yeah.
the bottom
Yes.
part of
Yeah.
it. That's the
Correct.
reason it's like
See,
that.
there's
Because
But
it
it's
was
not its
for two
primary
hands.
function.
well.
Yeah.
That's
D&D
the, like,
rules, you can use a broadsword two-handed.
D&D rules.
It's a
Oh,
versatile.
D&D rules, then.
They're arguing over the rules.
No,
whether
no,
it's
I'm
one-handed or
I'm
two.
being completely serious right now. Like, just because you can hold it with two hands
Wait,
doesn't
he's saying-
make it a
he's saying-
two-handed
I
weapon.
mean that
Jeff
part of the
is saying
sword
that
kind of reminds me
broadsword's
of
supposed to be just one hand or something. I don't know.
Broadsword
Well, so-
is,
so-
is meant to be either way.
Everyone.
Yes, broadsword is either way. I think this is my crackpot analysis that I have no actual knowledge on this, but I think that using both hands is more of a defensive move.
We started off.
I think it's more for like having the stability to deflect. Correct me if I'm wrong, audience.
All right,
This is
hang on.
just what makes sense to me.
Simon seems
I
to have
showed it
figured it
off,
out,
so
but he types. He's still
Okay,
typing
cool.
his-
While I studied the blade. ... Tune in next week.
Yeah, exactly. We're
Hand and
waiting
a
for the
half
answer
sword,
now.
right?
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, exactly, hand and a half. Yeah.
Go on, Jeff. What?
Yeah.
So go on from.
Yeah, yeah.
hold
So
no
no
story.
plot,
But it is a
no
one-hand.
no
Thank
plot. But what it seems like is that they grabbed elements from all sorts of different Conan stories and jammed them all into this movie.
Just
So
kinda happened, yeah.
I one day I'm hoping in a couple years I can get my PhD in Conanology. I have a stack of Savage Sword of Conan comics about this tall now. I've read about this many of them. I'll be reading as many of them as I can within the next couple years. And now I want to like start getting the novels
Oh,
and
he's
stuff.
the bastard. Wait,
but
that doesn't make-
a bastard sword, that makes a lot of sense actually. So Conan has just lots of short stories that are just quick quests, you know, and I think that's why it works for this movie, or why it works for Conan, for it to just be like, yeah, here's Conan and he does stuff.
Is
It
this
made,
story in the comics like this story about what happened to his family? Because I've never read Conan.
No, I've not seen that in the comics. I have not seen
Okay.
any kind of origin story in the comics, and I think
Okay.
that he did that on purpose. I think Robert E. Howard purposefully did not. Anyone who knows more about Conan, please correct me if I'm wrong. But I've never seen like at the beginning of each comic, there's like a little thing that tells you kind of the gist of what Conan is, and it's repeated with every issue. But in general, it still doesn't even talk about his parents or anything.
Okay.
So that origin story is just something for the movie-going audience.
Hey, Conan is public domain in 2025.
Interesting.
Soundbooth
You should
does it. There we go.
You should do a
Cinematic.
comic, like motion
I'll get to
comic
do my.
thing.
I'll get to do.
You get to
my
do your Arnold,
Conan.
yes,
Well,
please.
we can't do the motion
yeah.
comic because the comics are still copyrighted,
Oh, okay.
right?
All right.
The actual
It's the
comics,
story, the
but
book.
Conan
Oh,
himself.
we could use the stories and narrate.
I'm
as
down.
Arnold.
I'm down. Like
Do it.
there's plenty of novels by Robert E. Howard. that we could do.
And I'll prove.
So
That's just the opening credits. It's just and then we start it.
Oh, you're recording. Okay, here we go.
It means you overrun. Interesting. I didn't
yeah.
know that.
So as far as casting, if we're going for accuracy to the books, to the comics, Arnold's not it. But he is like my mental picture of Conan. You know, it came out so long ago. Like when I was a kid, I've seen the movie so many times. That's just how I see Conan now. So I can't. It's hard for me to make any kind of casting judgment there. I will say that he's a compelling Conan. I will say that I believe him. I believe Arnold as an actor in this movie. And that's rarely the case with Arnold. Like
He still was guilty of a little bit of face acting, a little like it was kind of looked like the director was just like, okay, now he's confused, and he's like, oh!
but
There was a little bit of that.
But
This was
but that
very, very
works.
early in his acting career.
But that works for Conan.
It was his
It
first.
works
Yeah,
for his
yeah.
character Because
Yeah.
he's like the way that they wrote the Conan character of the movie, right? Again, that origin story, he literally is a barbarian, and he just, he doesn't have very many social skills. Whereas in the books, Conan's kind of like, he's actually very savvy and like very good at talking his way out of things, and if he needs to. Right, like he's actually very, very clever, put together character in the books. He doesn't come off as a barbarian, except the way he looks. So, for the movie, it totally works, and the action scenes are so fun. The score for me, it doesn't match up all the time, but it always makes me feel hyped. And for me, this entire watching the movie experience, even though it's been probably more than a decade since I've seen it, was just as fun as any other time, man. It's this movie's timeless, I think.
Have you seen it on the big screen?
I have not.
It is gorgeous on the big screen.
I would love to.
Beautiful. And the score. Yeah, we went to see it in 2022 for its
Oh,
40th
shit, is that true?
anniversary. What? He had to be given lines phonetically?
At that point, I wonder.
I don't know.
That it was his first role. I think it was his first
No,
acting
it
gig.
wasn't.
It was-
not?
No, it wasn't.
It was the first one where he spoke, probably.
No, it wasn't.
No?
But it was his first. It was his
Spoke
first
English.
very major role. Because he had
I
been
see.
in other things before, but this was really what kind of put him like in the sights of the overall public. But it was the Terminator that catapulted him worldwide. But he had been in, of course, Pumping
Right
Iron,
afterwards.
and he could speak English just fine in Pumping Iron. And he was in Hercules. They had to dub his voice because he was terrible. He was in a movie with Sally Field
that
and
dub
Jeff
was awful.
Bridges. Oh my gosh, I forgot what it was
Scavenger
called. And then
Hunt.
No.
Stay Hungry.
Yeah, Stay Hungry. And then he was in a movie with Kirk Douglas, I think, called The Villain. So
Yep.
he'd been in some TV stuff. He was in something with Lucille Ball. He'd been in a TV show where he played a killer. So he'd been in multiple things. It was definitely not his first gig. It was just his first very major gig.
Was Hercules his first movie?
Yes.
I think Hercules in New
York.
York. Yes, it was terrible. It was terrible, and I love Arnold, but it was
Riding a
terrible. Even he
chariot
knows it was
through
terrible.
Times Square is the poster. It's tremendous. It's stupendous. It's fun. Hercules in New York. Arnold Stang and Arnold Strong.
Yeah, that's right, because his stage name was Arnold Strong initially.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Oof.
Jeff, you
Cool.
got any more on it?
Strong
I got besides I guess the last thing I have to say is just one thing that kept going through my mind as I was watching this movie is Arnold Schwarzenegger was born to be a fucking movie star.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he
Yes,
is
I'm-
just so watchable.
Yes.
Listenable.
That yes from Sin had weight.
But not even in that way that you guys are implying. He has just been such a force. Like, he's just been such an inspiration for me. And not in
Well, I
that
think-
way. But
I think that-
yes, I agree. He's very watchable.
I think that he's just so different. There's nobody like
Yes.
him. Like with the accent, with how he delivers lines in a totally unique way. It's just like there's always this sort of question of like, oh, how is he going to deliver this? How is this going to be portrayed? And it's always fresh. It's always unique, and it's usually always quotable, which is why you get like great lines that have stood the test of time pretty much from every one of his movies. And the writers, they knew this. They're like, okay, what do we get this big German man to say or Austrian man to say, in his accent? And so many of those have, like, I have an entire vault in my brain that is just Arnold sayings.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he made something that most movie studios did not like because they didn't like his last name, they didn't like his accent, they didn't like his size, but he was still able to take that and capitalize on it and make it something.
That was my
that the
favorite look of
entire
the whole
world-
movie. Sorry,
Oh,
this
I
one that's on
love
the screen
that,
now.
right?
Yeah, the makeup job in that looked.
Isn't that
sick.
they?
I want that
remember them
action figure.
It's
Yeah.
cool, isn't it? I love the look of it, and just I love the way that whole thing was
Oh.
filmed.
That was what I was thinking about was like they got him, the director got him to like just do his like Mr. Universe sort of routines, but with a sword. Basically, there were entire
Showing
scenes where
off
he's
his-
just like
Yeah.
showing off his muscles, but he's doing Mr. Universe, but he's got a sword as well. And I thought that was interesting, like using the strength of the actor's experience to portray the character. But anyway, who's next?
I'll go because I
well-
actually have a question. Because
Yeah.
so if there was any passage of time in this movie, did anyone get like? Because it was never indicated to me that there was like long stretches of time in between things happening. But like everyone just all fell in love so quick, and everybody all like tried to have meaning for one another very quickly, unless there were like
Oh yeah,
stretches of time. Like, but because he just like met this girl, jumped off a tower with her, and now they're like married.
right. Yeah, how
know,
long
I mean-
were they celebrating for?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they definitely hooked up pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But I mean, that feels like that's a thing that is often showcased in movies too.
I really loved his little Asian buddy,
Yeah.
That guy,
a little Mongolian
He's
guy.
a surfer
fucking
now.
Awesome.
He's a
Oh, is
surfer
he?
in California. Yeah.
Oh, really?
I like
Yeah.
that little wizard. He shows up in the second one.
Yeah.
As well.
Oh, he's great.
I just really enjoyed the relationship he had with the thief. What is his name? Fuck.
Subutai or
Yeah,
Subutai.
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 Yeah.
So I don't know. They just had great chemistry together, and they did drugs together. That was
Yeah,
cool.
that scene.
Was it Black Lotus? That's what
Yeah.
that's what they were tripping on when he punched the camel.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought he was just
Honestly,
drunk.
that gives a little more context to it. I'd probably punch a camel on Black Lotus too.
Yeah.
To be honest.
But I don't know. I felt like it wasn't necessary. Like I felt like the chemistry between the characters was good enough that it like I didn't care. Like
I bought their friendship, but him and his gal Sandal
Valeria?
Bergman. Yeah, Valeria. I didn't buy that one as much. It was like
Okay.
they were, like ready to die for one another, or
yeah.
you know what I mean? Just a little. I was just like, if they
Yeah.
would have just given me some sort of indication that it had been months of them living together at this point or something. So I'm just
Yeah,
gonna imagine that they
yeah.
just celebrated for a long time, and then that would make sense for me. You know?
I can see that. Yeah, you're right. Like the way that she was like that she,
I just want to
sacrificed-
die in your arms.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's like, oh, okay. But like
Well,
Sin
you
said,
do
that
get-
is a trope in so many. Yeah, so
That's true. But you do get the sense that obviously you can imagine however much time passed from the time they met each other until whenever all these other things happened. But you do get this. You remember that scene where it's showing them have sex for the first time, and she gets this look on her face like she's realizing she's actually developing very strong feelings for him. And then later she talks about all the times that she passed by in the night when other people were together. So I guess it's kind of implied that she formed this very strong connection to him pretty quickly, just
Yeah.
because she'd been alone
I buy
for so
that.
long.
They also watched an
Honest-
orgy together.
they sure did. They all just kind of like
They all
popped their popcorn
I-
and just
Yeah, I love how they
Like,
popped
yeah.
over that ledge and they're like, wow, they're having fun.
boobies. Yeah.
Do you guys remember the music video for "Now You're Just Somebody That I Used to Know"?
Yeah.
Somebody.
I don't remember the
Sort
music
of.
video, but yeah.
The makeup
just his face,
that they
right?
do in that music video.
He's just staring at the camera. It's a close up and things keep
Pretty
changing.
much, yeah. But they've got like all of this like paint on them and their stripes.
Yeah.
That's what I was reminded of when they like had their camouflage
Yeah, maybe they
makeup
should.
on.
Maybe that song should have been playing during that scene.
That's Stacy in his butt.
So what else, Ryan?
Ouroboros.
Yeah, I was gonna, so I mean my kind of general thing was like, I bet this was a lot of teenage boys' favorite movie. And like that is neither good nor bad. That is just like it is a soft core throughout. There's
Yeah,
there's
oh,
muscles
yeah,
and
yeah.
swords. And it's awesome. And like you said, doesn't rely heavily on plot, and it's just like this is for the sake of boobies and badassery, And I can get behind that.
Sword and sword.
I just have a note that says fighting in pits. Ah!
Yeah.
because that was his
Yeah.
entirety of getting of the fighting in the pit scene.
voice
Honestly,
over.
okay, so Valeria Sandal Bergman, I think she did phenomenally, and she really, really like she was going for her Oscar in the post like fighting off the demons from him scene. She slayed in that. There was like the little ghosts are all coming down
Yeah.
try to take
The
him.
ones that they
yeah.
drew in with like colored pencil or something.
Yes, exactly. But she like understood the assignment and came in like her acting was great in that. I big props to her. I kind of felt a little differently, Jeff. I thought that the time was not super well allocated. There was kind of a lot of like we're just looking at scenery now, and what Bill's comment earlier that they had to like cut a bunch of dialogue makes sense to me because it did feel kind of dialogue light for me. But it was just a blast to watch throughout, so it wasn't like hugely detracting for me. And anytime that I wasn't hearing dialogue, I was just imagining what he was saying in my head, so I kept myself entertained. But yeah, that's. Oh, and I thought that the fight choreo was pretty sloppy. Like most of their hits were like 3 feet away from the actual person, but the practical effects completely made up for it. Those decapitations, those like on things that I was like that would have been hard to coordinate. And if you mess it up, that's a whole new costume because that just got drenched in the fake blood. Like they executed that really well. I was loving watching the fights because of that. I forgave the like fact that it was kind of like watching a fight scene on a theater stage. Was
Yeah.
what it looked like, you know. So it's like I just kind of forgave that bit. But yeah, those were my takeaways. That weren't
Quick
already
question: is that the king's daughter?
Yes.
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 Ah, okay.
Sadly,
Yeah, she
this
was a-
woman, she passed away a few years after the movie
Oh,
in
really?
a car accident. Yeah, she was really young.
Yeah.
Trying to think of who she looks like. There's somebody she reminds me
There
of.
is somebody she reminds me of too, Jeff, and I can't think of it off the top of my head.
A little bit
Think of who it is.
Alanis Morissette,
It's not coming to
Nev
me.
Campbell.
Yeah, it's Nev Campbell for sure.
No,
Everyone.
no more
everyone
Nev
looks
Campbell
like-
talk.
Damn it. Okay. I thought I had something, but I don't. Never mind.
Who else?
All
had
right.
some
Is that
takeaways?
Ryan? Is that it, Ryan?
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
Ahmed, you got anything?
Yeah,
Sam, you got
man.
anything?
I got plenty.
I do. I have some stuff. Not as much as you guys, because you guys, I really love the analysis you've done on it so far.
There, Nev
There-
Campbell. Sorry,
oh,
this
that
is
is
the picture.
100% her.
Yes, now I'm really seeing it. Yep.
Oh my.
Okay, I was kind of
I
like
never
I was
saw it
nodding
before,
along
you
with you
guys.
until this
Never.
point, and now, damn it.
I was just like, yeah, wow.
Okay. So, wait,
So,
who's first?
Okay.
Okay.
I
Ahmed, go.
love the chronicler intro. I am the chronicler. You know that whole
Yes,
thing.
yes.
That's Mako.
That's the wizard, right?
Mako. Yeah, the wizard's also the voice of Uncle Iroh from Avatar: The Last Airbender, the cartoon.
I think he's
Is he
Aku as
really?
well from Samurai Jack.
Yeah,
Hell
yeah.
yeah.
He's
Yeah.
played so many roles. He's
was
very,
in
He's got an
very
Conan.
iconic
famous.
voice.
Great, yeah.
That sword is the sword of my like dreams and my childhood. I used to draw it when I was a kid. That shape, it was very important to me and the way that I like imagined fantasy. This movie's a masterclass in fantasy, and I think it's like basically a D&D campaign.
Yeah,
I think just
said.
I
Well
got that
said.
vibe.
it's not. It
Yeah.
goes from like little story to little story, and it's like you said, Jeff. It's like made up of little stories. It's if you take it from that perspective, it's just like these nice little, and every single little story was interesting in its way. You know, like he started off as a slave, and then every situation he got in, you know, it was like almost like watching how's Conan gonna get out of this? How's Conan gonna get out of this? What's he gonna do now? What's he gonna do now? The actual like props and the outfits were incredible. His outfits are just so awesome. Like all of this stuff is just great. It was like really well done. I actually disagree with you guys on the music. The music I know the music better than the movie, so I have a bias. Like I really know that music really well, so it was actually watching it and then, you know, placing the music that I already knew into my head onto the scene, and then I was like, oh, so that's where that goes. You know, it was a lot of that. But like,
You hadn't seen it. You hadn't seen the movie before?
no, I saw it when I was younger, and I haven't seen it in like probably 30 years or something,
wow.
or plus. Like
Gotcha.
I haven't seen it in a long time. So it was nice to like take it in again and kind of like see what affected me when I was a kid, and kind of like to re-go through it. They jogged everywhere. That was awesome. That reminded me
yeah.
of Quest for the Holy Grail and like Lord of the Rings. You know, they just kind of ran everywhere.
And the music that played when they were jogging too.
Yeah. I think the message they were sending is only defiant thieves can overthrow an empire, or people who are wronged by it. I think there was definitely a through line there. I think I think that my last note here is probably the cast. They were all bodybuilders, right? They all look like bodybuilders and wrestlers, right?
Okay,
It's like, these
real quick,
guys,
real
all
quick.
these
I
guys-
think
Those two guys, the two main henchmen of
Yeah.
what's his name of
James Earl
Tulsa
Jones.
James
Wrong.
Earl Jones.
Yeah.
Both of those guys are in all of Arnold's movies. I think they're his cousins.
I
Or is
don't-
it just the one guy?
I don't know that any of them are his cousins, but I know they're like his friends. And the really tall guy, Matt said he was a football player.
Okay. No, the other one, the one who let's
The
see
one
what
with the
happened to
cleft
him.
in his chin.
The hammer.
The one who was the owner of the snake or the trainer of the snake.
Yes, yeah, that guy.
I've seen him in multiple things. I don't know that he's related to Arnold though.
I think that's his cousin or something.
Man, he had some badass look at like outfits.
I don't know about that. I'll have to
Just
verify.
top notch, like
Yeah.
awesome fantasy gear. Like, just all of the outfits were just beautiful. And it's like, yeah, it is. On the one hand, it's dated, but on the other hand, it's like you just don't see this kind of like detail in costumes the way this movie did. I guess I could bring up one more thing. How Conan kept discovering people that died in their outfits, like working. Like what?
Yes.
Like how does a king die on his throne with all of his clothes on? Or like he found a town and they were just all skeletons propped up. It's like how did the person's die on his horse?
Well, this
Oh,
place
I
seems like
assumed that
it was a tomb.
It was a
Yeah,
They propped him back
This was
up.
a tomb, but this goes to Jeff's point about like things feeling very convenient and contrived. This was the biggest part of the movie where I was like, oh, so he's running from wolves. He just so happens to fall in a tomb of a great king that has a great sword that is amazing. And
Yeah, that's that's D&D, right? That's the
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It very much.
Yeah.
You find yourself running from wolves.
exactly. And you discover it too. And ladies and gentlemen, everybody, here's Nev Campbell.
Yes. Scream, baby.
All right, let's go back to that.
Actual Nev Campbell.
Let's go back
Hang
to
on,
the.
hang on. I can't do
Well,
the
there's no way
transition
we're
fast
fighting that
enough.
boy.
Hang on, give me a sec.
Quickly.
I'm already. I'm on it.
The boy.
What's the enhance. I just can't. I can't. The thing won't let me do it any faster than this. Like I can't. That's as quick as I can do it. Actually,
we go.
I
Yeah.
should make Nev Campbell into a Chrome. Hang on, I'm gonna do it.
Pulls up Photoshop.
All right, here we go.
Blender.
Right? And
Yeah.
oh wait, where's and then
Where did Spanish boy go?
right?
Yep. It's in the
Yeah.
eyes.
Yeah. They've got the same nose.
Same nose,
and
same
freckles.
lips. Yep,
lips,
same
too.
jaw
Yeah.
jaw shape, everything.
Maybe they're related.
They're not related. And neither is that guy, Jeff. That guy is not his cousin.
I'm glad that you know.
By the
'cause
way.
I was
I
definitely not going to
suspect
research
the
it.
boy from Conan and Jeff Campbell are different.
Actually.
Yeah, I also wrote
I love it.
excellent fake snake. So I guess I agree with you on that, Justin.
Yeah.
Excellent fake snake.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely
It's great.
fooled me. But yeah, I
you
I
doing?
love this movie. I realized after watching it all the way through that I really enjoyed it. I liked the story told in without dialogue, the moments where it was just being told as you watched it, and it just weirdly captured me, and I really enjoyed it like all the way through. Weirdly, like I didn't know if I was gonna, like I just sat down.
Yeah.
I thought I was just gonna watch it as a matter of rote. I was more excited for Buckaroo Banzai, and I sat to watch this as a matter of rote, and then I realized, wow, this is a great movie. At least that's how I felt.
All right.
Rich, do you have any takeaways?
not like
It's
any-
hard to
I-
go
I-
last.
Everybody, I feel like everybody's like already
Yeah.
kind of covered my points. I guess I'd have to say this is like probably like my favorite Arnold movie. I love everything about this. I've seen this a bunch
Seriously?
of times. Yeah, I would say so.
Okay. Oh,
Wow,
wow.
okay.
All right.
Fantasy. You
Love
like
that.
fantasy Arnold.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. This movie is just iconic, like 80s fantasy.
This poor guy doesn't know he's about to get slapped. in that scene.
This guy just
He
gets
doesn't know he's about to just slap for no fucking reason. He's
No.
like, no joy.
I love like all the little bits of humor that were in this movie, like that guy getting kicked.
Totally. The fucking
When like
camera.
Arnold and his girl get arrested, and he's just like past the he's just
Yeah,
face
she
in, like,
goes for the.
soup.
She can't reach
She's
the,
just like
the
she's trying to
sword,
reach them. He
even
just
though
Yes.
it's right there.
Yeah. She's like, honey, get out of your oatmeal. Get out of your oatmeal.
The part where they're doing the heist in the tower, and like she like is going up behind the cultists, and then it cuts back to Arnold, and it cuts back to her, and she's like took the place
Dressed
of
as a
one of the
cultist.
cultists.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the music. The cast is like perfect. Obviously Arnold and just everybody. James Earl Jones as Thulsa Doom is like iconic.
Yeah.
He's got like so many great lines. Like the strength is like this scene, like the strength of steel,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
strength
Oh,
of flesh.
the riddle of steel. Yeah.
Also, not him trying to be like, I will be your father now, too. I was like, all right, calm down, Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, you tried this once in 76. Cool it.
The side eye he does before he kills
baby,
his
too.
mom. It's just like everything about it was great. But yeah, I don't know. This is probably one of my favorite Arnold movies, and I think it's great. I don't know what else to add to it.
Yeah.
Sin, you want to close us out?
Sure. Well, I actually saw the first movie the second movie before I saw this one.
I did
And
too. Weirdly
for
enough.
many years, that one was my favorite, the second one, because I felt like this one was a bit slow, and the other one just had more action in it and more adventure and more blah, whatever. And now I recognize that I was mistaken, and this one is the superior movie. I absolutely love the score. I do detect what you're talking about with the intro scene feeling a little off when the villagers are getting attacked, but it doesn't last very long for me. In general, I just felt like it was just gorgeous. I absolutely love. I think I told you guys the story of when John Milius was in a coma because he'd had a stroke. When I was out there in KC, I'll say it for the audience if they don't know yet, but he was in a coma. I watched a documentary called Milius. That's how I knew this. And they were talking about how his son came in and played the Conan theme on his phone there in the room, and that brought him out of the coma, which I thought was an amazing story. It's really cool. I love the cinematography of this thing, you guys. Like I said, on the big screen, it is absolutely gorgeous. It's so beautiful. And I love those faraway shots and then scenes of them just running through the landscape. I love the color palette. I love the way a lot of the fight, like that scene where they're in the paint and they've gone in the temple and they're doing the fighting. I like all of the fight scenes, including that. I just like how that was shot, and he's coming down the steps and he's holding the sword. It's just he's posturing. He's so cool with the sword and the muscles and the paint and everything. My least favorite part of this movie is the final fight that he has with the goons in the place where the
Orgy
stones
room?
are. No,
Yeah.
the place where the stones are outside where he burned
Oh,
Valeria's
yeah,
body.
yeah.
That one was so messy
sure.
and clunky to me.
Yeah,
That one
you know
doesn't
what?
work so well.
I don't think any of the choreography was any good in this movie. I think all the fight scenes were pretty awful. I think everything else was like everything up to
But
the
it's
leading
still
up
so
to the
fun to
actual
watch,
fight was
though.
good.
Yeah.
They're beautiful, like looking, but when they actually cross swords, it doesn't look right. Like it never looked right.
It probably
Like, at least
doesn't
that's
look
how
so great in real life when people fight with sword. Probably looks messy and sloppy too. I would imagine.
Well, not
Maybe.
Well,
You
no,
could-
this
But
looks.
you
I would say
expect-
this.
It definitely
expect-
is more sloppy, but like that's the thing is the choreography itself is like so theatrical. It's big and like, hey!
Yeah.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
and that's not how sword fighting actually goes. And actually, actually sword fighting is one of the more exciting types of fighting to watch on average because of the stakes and the quickness. But maybe that's what it is that's not theatrical is usually it ends very quickly for everybody. You know, even like two
Yeah.
really great swordsmen, that's a 10-second fight. You know, so
Right. Yeah, that's a good point.
But
Also, I
guess to
like
put it-
that. Sorry, go ahead.
No. To put it another way, I just think that this choreography was subpar for what the movie was. For the level of the movie, I felt like the choreography should have just been better, a little better. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I didn't have too many issues with it except for that final fight. I don't know. It didn't bother me as much. I know he went through a shit ton of training to learn how to wield that sword and ride horses and all that stuff. He also,
Bone witches.
Crossroads.
That was actually very funny. That was a very funny comment.
I felt like the presence of Max von Sydow, or however you say
You
his
went
name,
your direction.
and James Earl Jones gave this. They kind of added weight to the movie.
They grounded it, yeah. James
Grounded
Earl
it,
Jones
that's-
particularly,
yes.
I thought is like when he was on screen, like I took it seriously, and he was believable as a villain.
He definitely was. I feel like he had just his look. I mean, but little things also about this movie that are really cool that I learned about when I was listening to the audio commentary. Right before he cuts off Conan's mother's head, there's this scene where I don't know if you notice that he's hypnotizing her, magnetizing her with his little snake charm eyes, and she kind of raises her neck. She like elongates her neck a little bit, almost like she's offering her neck to him. And that was really, really fascinating piece of trivia to hear about when I was listening to that. Also, the symbolism of his father's sword. Matt and I were talking about it today. You know, that was his father's sword that got broken in the fight. And then he uses that sword to kill Thulsa Doom. And Matt was talking about the symbolism of it being like, this is his father's sword. This is the past. He's breaking the past, you know, because the sword has been destroyed now. And he uses that to destroy the destroyer of his father, the destroyer of his childhood, his whole people and everything. So I thought that was really interesting. I like little teeny tiny moments too, like touching moments for me. When Valeria's on the funeral pyre and he like brushes little strands of hair out of her face. That to me was quite touching, and it was just a little teeny tiny moment. You know, that just really struck me. But yeah, this is a great. It's not my favorite Arnold film, but I really have grown to respect it a lot more as I've gotten older. So yeah, I really want to see a King Conan.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
There's
Let's
rumors
do
that
this. Let's
what
do
an
this.
awesome outfit. Again,
Right?
look at
Yeah.
this outfit.
I think I heard
Yeah.
rumors that they might be doing that soon.
Richard, they have been
That'd
talking
be cool.
about this for years and
I mean,
years.
that's
and
it.
Decades.
They've got to.
years.
They've got to before he retires.
I really
Like,
wish
let's-
they
let's
would
get it
because I
happen.
think it would be a
Make it
great
happen.
way to just kind of round out this story. You know, so an
Yeah.
aging King Conan on the throne.
Oh,
Maybe his
sweet.
son becomes a threat to his power. You know, something. It would just. I think it would. I think they could do it.
That's that face acting I was telling you about on that last picture. No, what is this?
Thank
Yeah.
face.
Sin, I want to just
Once
touch
again,
on
check
that.
out that awesome outfit. Look at that
Yeah.
awesome
The
mail.
great chainmail. That last fight scene again. The clunkiest thing to me was the Deus Ex Machina of Sandal.
Oh yeah, when
What's the
she
actress's
showed up
name?
and
The
yeah, Sandal
Valhalla?
Bergman. Yeah,
Yes.
Sandal Bergman.
Bergman.
There she is.
This
Yeah.
whole thing, I was just like,
What the
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was kind of cringe.
yeah, it was
Like I
cringe.
said, it's
it was
not. It's not my favorite. Not my favorite part. You know, she almost lost a finger filming this movie because, like, one of the stuntmen did something incorrect and just about cut her whole finger off.
Oh,
So,
it,
yeah,
like it was
she-
bleeding and stuff. Like,
Oh yeah, it
it
almost
just- oh,
completely
wow.
severed her finger. I think she had to go to the hospital and
Yikes.
they had to work on it, but it was interesting. And I've also come to really appreciate her character more. I remember in the beginning I wasn't so crazy
Yeah,
about
yeah.
her character, but I like how she played it. The nuance
yeah,
of the
exactly.
different expressions
Once
in
again,
her
but she's also like a
face.
bodybuilder. You know, so it makes like
I
there
don't
was
know
so
if
many
she was a.
bodybuilders.
I don't know
I
if
think
she
she
was
looks
an
like a
actual.
bodybuilder.
She was
She
a
looks like it.
dancer. She was a dancer. I don't think
Oh,
she was a
alright, that makes
bodybuilder.
singer. Oh yeah,
She
dancer.
She was also. She also used to do like. She was. I used to do a bunch of fitness.
Like
workouts
jazzercise?
called the Firm. They were called the Firm, and it was like cardio with weight work. And she was one of the instructors on one of those videos. I thought it was
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of funny. Yeah.
Well, what's everyone's ratings? Who do we want to start with?
Yeah, all right. One last call for ratings from the audience.
have we not
if you
gotten
haven't
any more?
already, we've gotten
can't
a few
see the
actually.
chat.
We've gotten
Yeah.
I've
Oh, okay.
gotten 5 here.
Oh, nice.
Sick.
Cool.
anybody
All
else
right.
who watched Conan. Please rate it in the chat so that we can tell you how wrong.
Oh, did you
were.
guys notice
Yeah.
Oliver Stone was one of the writers on this?
I did not notice
Yes,
that.
yeah.
There's
That's
like a whole
awesome.
story behind that. I think it was something weird he was wanting to do with it, like make it UFOs or something. He was wanting to do something wonky.
That
So I don't
stands.
think they actually used what he did, but he was still credited, if I'm remembering correctly.
They're like, oh, great. Okay, thank
job,
you,
thanks.
Oliver. All right.
So Justin, you started us out. Give us your.
We're going to
give us
put
out
your
of 10.
script right up here on the fridge, Oliver.
Out of 10, Justin.
I'm going to give Conan, I'm going to give it a 7.
7 out of 10.
I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Enjoyable. It was fun. It was, it knew what it was. And, yeah, I was entertained. Is it something that I will watch like, every year or will, think about all the time? Probably not. But, if they were to make a Conan King movie or King Conan movie, I would
Conan
definitely
I'd be
watch
there.
it. And
Same, same.
I'd probably watch the other ones in the series at some point as well, but I'm not rushing to experience that. So 7 out of 10 for me.
Alrighty, Jeff.
9 out of 10 for me. It's just, like I said, it's another formative movie for me. It's kind of informed a lot of my tastes in fiction in general. Just all of its flaws are completely negligible to me. Like, I just don't even give a shit about the flaws that this movie has. It's just fun. It's super fun. By the way, Justin, as far as I know, there's only one other Arnold Conan film. That's Conan the Destroyer,
Yeah.
Yep.
Conan the
which I would
Destroyer.
love an excuse to watch again because I've only seen it maybe twice.
That one is pure
and that-
80s, boy.
And that was like, I was definitely like 5 or 6 years old when I saw them. So yeah. And then the only other Conan movie I can think of is with Aquaman playing Conan.
Jason Momoa.
Which actually
Oh.
he looks
Yeah, I
way
forgot
more
about
like
that.
Conan from the comics. I haven't seen the movie, but from what I've been told, he acts more
I've
like
seen it.
Conan from the comics. But
Dope.
I have also heard that it's not a good movie, and I don't know. I'd love to find out why.
It's all right. It's all right.
But are there any other Conan movies? Okay, 9 out of 10.
Hell yeah.
Oh.
I'm giving it a solid 7 out of 10 as well. Again, pretty much same reasons. Just very fun to watch, but not my favorite.
I'll give it
Ahmed.
8.5.
8.5 from Ahmed.
Oh, I thought you said a 5. I was like, wow,
8.5.
that's harsh.
No, 8.5.
8.5.
All right,
Okay.
Rich, what do you got?
I'm gonna give it a 9.
All right,
Wow.
Sin,
Okay.
what do you got?
I'm torn between an 8 and an 8.5, but I'll be generous and I'll give it an 8.5 just because the score and the cinematography, they kind of give it that extra bump for me, I think.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Awesome.
What are we?
Yeah, what's
mathing
our-
then?
So we
Math
got
wizard
a
say.
7 average from the audience.
Ooh,
Really?
They were harsh.
That 2.
Come on.
There was
Come
a
on.
2
Yeah, that
in
2
there.
really brought it down.
Oh, wow, a 2. Okay.
Yeah.
Give it a 2.
What's ours? What's our
I
average?
bet ours is an 8.
Probably. Or 7.75 or something. It's probably an 8.
7.75.
Yep, solid 8.
Nice.
All
I
right,
think
cool,
that's about right.
awesome.
The audience
So-
is definitely wrong on this.
Well,
Definitely wrong.
so I guess so. Are
You guys
Justin
fucked
and
up.
me.
Definitely.
All right, so that we are an hour in.
I know. I was going to say
One
that's why I
movie.
keep trying to
That
like
was a long
move it along.
One movie. So,
So we'll be fast on the
Justin, you
next
didn't
one.
watch the other 2 movies. You're welcome to hang.
I did not.
You're welcome
Thank
to hang,
you
but shut the
guys.
fuck up.
Get
Yeah,
out.
get
Well,
out.
no, I'm gonna
out.
take off here, but thank you guys so
All right.
much for having me. This
Thanks
has been
for
a
coming,
blast.
Justin.
And bye,
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 bye.
buddy.
Bye, Justin. Bye.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I was waiting for him to say I'll be back so I could cut him off.
Oh, you did that?
But then he called himself.
Oh, why did we give him the controls, y'all?
Yeah, I'm here for 3 weeks and I'm fucking taking it over.
All right. So what are we doing next?
Young Guns.
Buckaroo. Oh, just kidding.
Young Guns is next. Okay.
Oh, I mean, I don't care what order we do it in. I just remember Buckaroo.
All right,
was
Young
the
Guns
extra
is
credit.
next. Everybody who hasn't already, put your rating for Young Guns in the chat. Rating out of 10 for Young Guns. Emilio! Okay.
Right.
All right, guys. I'm really looking forward to starting this one off. Another formative movie for me. I watched this over and over as a kid. I was, as I was watching it, so surprised at how well it held up. I thought, and like, it's been way longer than Conan since I've seen, like, I literally have not seen this movie outside of my single digits. So,
wow.
watching it, like, literally more than 20 years ago, like, way more, like, almost 30 years ago. Wow, holy shit.
Yeah,
Is
you're
when
old.
I last saw this movie, and man, it delivered. So yeah, we're this is a great picture to start off on because the entire cast is great. Every one of these characters was different, had their own strengths and weaknesses, had their own ways of being entertaining. There was a very solid sense of morality going on within the group, even though they have this chaotic, evil dude kind of that eventually starts running their group, right? And like, I don't know, everything felt so natural about this movie. The little things that I have to complain about. There's some 80s music going on.
Oh, for sure.
that's just
Don't. It's 90s. It's not 80s.
it's 80.
It is 80s.
Came out in 88,
Okay,
so
late
it'd be pretty
80s,
crazy
like-
if they got 90s music.
Definitely
early
80s.
90s
It was like
music
proto-90s.
definitely sounded 80s. So it had some of that 80s cop drama music in there
Like when
once
they
in a
were
while
running,
for
when
no
they were
reason.
being chased by the
Yeah, yeah.
baddies on the horse
Yeah.
and song. Yeah.
I won't knock it too hard for that though, because it's just a product of the times. Otherwise, the score, they did a lot of actually, period sounding music in it as well. So, that made up for it a bit. They did a really good job of spending enough time with all the characters in this story. Like, I didn't feel like any of them were left out in any way. I felt like I got to know these characters very well by the end of the movie. Everything was fast-paced. They did not linger on things. The longest part of the movie was developing the young characters with the main
Tunstall.
Tunstall. Like developing their sensei, right? They gave him a great character, and it really feels awful when he dies. God, there's so much to love about this movie. The costumes, amazing. Like everyone looks like they have their own personality, but it's all shoddy, dusty, very well worn stuff. I really believed in all the sets. I believed they were in the places that they were saying. Great gunfights. Like sometimes it was just kind of, the typical shooting at air, and cutting back and forth stuff. Like this scene, the very end. I think that this is the worst gunfight. Is like the
Yes,
very end
I agree. Yep.
because like. I don't know, when he comes out of the house and like it didn't feel like a clever escape in any way, and like I had no understanding as to why they didn't get shot immediately.
Yeah.
Right?
Editing
It was like
also like kind of weird the way it was like
yeah.
They had a damn Gatling
weird
gun,
slow-mo
and
kind of-
what the
Right.
general's like, no, we wait for the lawyer for this,
Yeah.
and only
or-
use it on him, just fucking taking him down for the front yard, just like,
exactly.
yeah.
Like what the
If
fuck?
Chavez can sneak out to go get the horses, why couldn't they have all just snuck out in the middle of the night, same way he did? You know, like that.
Well,
sort of thing.
I took that as like he's more one with the land, and he like can find.
He
the
could have
shadows and
guided
stuff or
them.
something.
He could have.
Yeah,
guided
no,
them.
they're a bunch of clunky,
Yeah,
dumb white
right.
people.
Bringing up the end, that's the worst part of the movie. Like,
Yep.
Yeah.
how the fuck this makes no sense.
Agreed.
Somehow, still emotionally moving,
Yep.
right? And I think the key to that is the cast. The key to that is the way the movie spends so much time with these characters and developing their relationship. And like, I bought into the camaraderie.
It
I
was
bought
real.
Yeah.
It was real. They were real friends. They were very close in real life throughout the
Okay.
course. So yes, that's why you bought into it, because they actually liked each other.
Right.
Yeah.
So, let's see. Gosh, no death was wasted. I don't feel like. I feel like every one of these characters that we like, when they died, it hurt. But it didn't feel like, they got a bad deal or anything. Like the first death, or I'm sorry, the second death. I really think it's funny how Charlie Sheen was like the most straight-edged character in this whole movie. That's really funny. But like, even his death was shocking
Ouch.
and
Yeah,
hurtful.
was not expecting that.
And it made sense too, because the bounty hunter that came after them was like this legend. I loved that character, by the way. I wish we'd spent more time with him.
Totally.
And he doesn't even die, does he?
We don't know.
We don't know.
You
He never comes
assume
out of the
that-
outhouse.
Yeah, you never see
Okay.
him come out, but it was shot up so much he probably did.
I was gonna say he's probably dead.
Yeah. So I mean, shit. Like I even feel like looking at Kiefer here, his little subplot with the what's her
that
name?
little China doll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that was touching and also offensive, and I loved it. You know, like
Yeah,
like,
it came about way too fast for me and felt fetishized. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I was like, you just saw her once and you're like, oh fuck yeah, and
That's
Maybe,
my least
but-
favorite
God,
plot
Mary.
of the
But-
whole
but
of
like-
the whole movie. I
but
didn't
but
like it.
she's my flower.
yeah,
And I'm her butterfly.
yeah, exactly. I was like, bro, calm down.
No, I don't know. I bought into it because they're young guys. Young guys will fucking just fall head over heels
Okay,
for
that's
girls
fair.
like that. You know, that's just the way dudes are. So, man, I'm like digging for things to complain about right now. Okay, is this maybe the first really accurate depiction of hallucinating? Of hallucinogens?
I
in the
thought
movie?
so. Yes, I thought so. I was
I
like,
was-
if you ever take a group of people and like, that's what's happening. It's
Yes,
just a bunch of people in their
exactly.
own little worlds. And I was like,
Exactly.
nice, because they didn't try to
part of the
focus too
whole
much on
movie.
the POV experience, which so many movies fall into just watching the POV.
Yeah.
This was like a more like stepped back, like we are
Yes.
watching them go through this, and it looks like that. If you're ever the non-tripping
Yes.
person in a group of like,
Yeah,
you're
like
just
Charlie
what are
Sheen's
you-
characters, like
all
bunch of
doing?
heathens.
Yeah.
Dude, 100. Like when I was little and I watched that, I didn't really understand. You know, I was
No,
like,
not at
okay,
all.
they're doing a drug that makes them act weird. Okay, but like having done so many hallucinogens now, and then
it's like-
watching it, I was like, this is fucking spot on. Like, whoa. So, yeah, they did a great job with that, and maybe one of the best parts of the movie because it's fucking hilarious.
Do you see the size of that goddamn cockadoodle? Goddamn dude.
Why ain't they shooting
the
us?
sauce
We're
of
in the spirit
Spirit
world,
world,
you idiot.
asshole. They can't see us. That guy.
So good.
Incredible.
So good. And the last thing I will talk about is Emilio. God damn, did he play like okay, this movie is my whole concept of Billy the Kid. But he is brilliant in this role. Like I believe him 100%. He is such a psycho fucked up interesting character. And Emilio Estevez like like pitch perfect. Everything that he did for this role was
Completely
perfect.
believable. Yeah.
I have not seen him in another role that I even remember. Like Emilio Estevez, as far as an actor, as far as I'm concerned, I'm not impressed with him in this movie. Absolute, like you could
great.
not have cast it more perfectly. So I don't know. I'm having a really hard time thinking of anything else negative to say about this movie. I just am so happy that we watched it. I would recommend this to any person on the planet, and I would even more recommend it to someone who doesn't particularly like westerns.
Yes. Amen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I'll just go ahead and I'll go ahead and
Yeah,
take
please.
it next. So this was Billy the Kid was originally supposed to go to Sean Penn, but he had so many legal troubles he couldn't do it.
Oopsie.
So
Hey,
it
that's in
went
character though.
Yeah.
right, but he couldn't anyway. So it went to Emilio, and I was watching a really interesting video today about different things relating to this movie, and this was something I didn't know about. So he initially struggled with this role because he basically had to unlearn acting. He was trying to just do his, like his acting, and so the director wanted to really kind of throw him off his game, and he made him, like, a lot of his lines are improvised. Because the director would just like kind of throw curveballs at him and put him in these situations where he couldn't see like cue cards or whatever, and just make him just like try to get in character more. So that's probably why he stands out so much, is because he had to unlearn
like
the way he
authentic,
thought he
yeah.
was supposed to do things. And so, yeah, he definitely comes across as super unhinged and crazy, but he plays it so well. That laugh of his.
Oh man,
my gosh,
the look
so
in his
hilarious.
eyes. I think it's his
You
eyes.
know when he's about ready to do something
Yeah.
crazy, Yeah,
Yeah.
it was great. It's interesting that this film was very historically accurate as far as certain things like the time, the depictions of the time and stuff like that. And the guy who wrote the screenplay, he did all sorts of research because he already liked Billy the Kid and everything. Anyway, it was learning about Billy the Kid that gave him the idea for making this movie. There were, of course, some things that had to be changed because, the studio says how they want things to be. One of the interesting things was that John Tunstall is portrayed, he's always been portrayed as an older man. He was younger than some of the regulators in real life. So a lot of these characters were based on they were true people. I mean, this is kind of a real event that happened. Obviously, it's been highly fictionalized in some parts, but at the time, I loved Kiefer Sutherland. And then I was like, oh my gosh, Lou Diamond Phillips looks so cool and hot in here,
He looked,
But
yeah.
But you know what? Ultimately, besides Emilio Estevez's great acting, ultimately one of my favorite characters is the dude with the tobacco stuff in his mouth. We're in the spirit world, asshole. He is my favorite because he's so, like, just the looks on his face. He plays that character so well.
Yes.
That he is the most fun to watch.
You mean Dirty
for me
Steve?
now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you like
Dirty
Yeah.
Yeah, Dirty Steve. So yeah, anyway, I remember. So this movie actually kind of helped sort of regenerate westerns because they had kind of fallen out for a while, a few years, and this kind of helped kind of bring them back a little bit. Interesting thing about Bon Jovi. So he wrote the song for the second movie.
I forgot it was for the second movie. I
That was
forgot
for
it
the
was for the
second
second
movie.
movie.
So
I was
Emilio-
expecting it the entire time while I was watching. I was like, "Where's the song?"
Yeah, it was
Wait,
for the.
Wanted
I have
Dead or
not
Alive?
seen the second.
Yeah.
No, no, no.
Dead or alive.
No,
No?
not Wanted Dead or Alive. No, Emilio wanted to use that in the movie because that was Bon Jovi's song, but Bon Jovi's like, no. But he wrote "Blaze of Glory" for the
Blaze
second
of
movie.
Glory. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Never
And of course,
shot
Bon
first,
Jovi,
but
I think
drew
he-
first blood, make it call
Yeah.
me, yeah.
Yeah, he specifically wrote that for
Yeah,
the
yeah.
movie. The reason he didn't get permission for Wanted Dead or Alive is because he didn't feel like it fit. For whatever reason, he didn't feel like it fit the story, so he specifically wrote a song for it. So I have not seen. Did you know Tom Cruise had a cameo in here, y'all?
What?
Yeah, right.
Yes, yeah. In one of the gunfights,
He was one of the
like
guys
a bad
at
guy.
the end in the shootout that got
Yeah.
shot. He's right there on camera, and if you look close, now you can't unsee it.
I
And,
totally missed it.
Yeah, and Emilio also would, on days that he didn't have to film as Billy, he would go and play on the other side, being one of the people that was in the shootout against
Oh,
the regulators. So, like, there's so much trivia about this, you guys. I wrote a shit ton of notes. I wrote more notes for this than any of the others, but I'm not going to talk about all of them. But I really enjoyed this movie. I've always loved this movie. My least favorite parts, the fight out at the shootout at the end, like we've already talked about. And when I rewatched Charlie Sheen's character, that's a little cringe because, oh my gosh, his head bobbled. He was like a bobblehead when he got shot. And it was just like, yeah, he was like, it was like, oh no, he didn't do that very well. But I do remember being extremely surprised when that happened to his character because I was like, that's Charlie Sheen. He can't get killed so early in the movie. And he did. So, but yeah, I really enjoyed this film. I don't mind the 80s type of music. I love that song that plays when they're being chased by those people. And that's when they play that 80s sort of rock music. I thought it was great. I enjoyed this film a lot. And I'll stop talking about it now.
Yeah,
I think
I'm gonna.
I was gonna say I think we should let Rich go because he had to go last time, and we're getting down to the end again.
So yeah, I've never seen this movie before, and I dug it. It was like a pleasant surprise. I thought I had seen it before. I think I got it mixed up with Tombstone.
Like Tombstone, yeah.
But yeah, I didn't know like too much about like Billy the Kid, like his story, and like I read that some people say this is like probably the most accurate depiction of like the Lincoln County War. So I really liked the historical accuracy that it had. Billy the Kid was just such a great character. I love just like how like unhinged he was, and I like the way like he kind of like in westerns there was like never really a duel in this movie, and you kind of expect that from a lot of westerns. His style is more like he's more cunning, where he'd like, oh, I heard this guy's gonna go into the bathroom. I'm gonna get him in the bathroom. Like he catches everybody off guard. The way he like unloaded that guy's gun and then was just messing with him the whole time.
Yeah.
That was incredible.
That was so good. That's one of my favorite parts of the whole movie.
That's a great scene.
That might be my favorite, yeah.
Oh, there he is.
It's just, and it's like his like all the other guys in the back is like, this guy's fucking crazy.
Whoops.
Oh, he lost Sin.
No, I'm back.
Nope. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I thought it was a great movie. The score was definitely did not fit, but I kind of loved it. It just like I don't know. I thought it was kind of funny. It's just like quintessential, just like 80s, like jazzy rock music. The saxophone.
Yeah, I was like, the saxophone is throwing me, but sure. I was like, you know what? They made a choice.
Yeah.
The peyote scene was hilarious.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, no, the whole cast was great, and I don't know what else to say. I thought it was pretty good.
Did you guys notice it was John Wayne's son played Pat Garrett?
No.
No.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was John.
Oh, that
Wayne's
is
son.
cool.
And the little, of course, obvious sort of foreshadowing that they do between the two of them is like it feels a little forced, but it felt a little heavy-handed. But
Is that the guy that comes to tell him about the lawyer?
Yes,
you're
and they
talking
had
about?
met
Yeah.
them before. They had met him before.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he turned his back on him and said, "Are you my friend?" or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's because Pat Garrett shot him in the back or something in real life. Yeah.
Yep. All right.
They were pals.
They were pals.
That's how the movie
That is written
ended.
on his tombstone.
Yeah, I don't think this movie aged well. I really did not like it at all. The
Oh,
music,
wow.
Oh, okay.
Them shooting in the beginning was so whack that I kind of like was already on tilt. And I feel like it plays like a TV movie. I was kind of bored. I didn't think the peyote scene landed. I didn't find it funny.
Man, he's just
I do
coming
have
in
a question
to be a
though.
contrarian at this
Why
point.
is Emilio Estevez and not Emilio Sheen? Like, what's the story?
Because
there?
he decided to keep his so his father
Sheen
Martin
is a
Sheen,
fake name. Yeah.
Sheen is a fake name. Martin is actually he's Spaniard. That's part of
Martin
his heritage.
Estevez?
He's Estevez, yes, and he changed his name. And Emilio was the only one that kept it. They have a sister too who kept the Estevez name.
Yeah, I thought the monologue, the Indian monologue was like okay. I don't him. Just
You mean when he was
what's his
crying
face?
about his
Yeah,
family?
keep
I didn't
about
think.
his-
I don't
about
think
his
he did
about his
that very
people.
well. Yeah, I didn't.
It
I
was,
didn't like
it was
that
okay. What's Kiefer Sutherland got on my nerves with all his China girl stuff and like breaking it, like come away with me. I just don't know.
I'm a poet.
It just none of it landed for me, and I feel like the movie spiraled into a weird hole where it like, and then the lawyer with the Gatling gun. Like, it was just like he just gave up.
Like, why?
I was like,
why?
I thought that dude was gonna get off scot free. I
How
thought
did
he was
they
gonna
get
be
away?
fine.
None of it didn't make a lot of sense.
You know what else was weird? When like after that happened, Billy comes back and then shoots Murphy in the head, like
Yeah.
from like 20 feet away.
Yeah. I don't know. That's just me though. I was not pleased with this movie. I don't have much else to say about it, so we can.
All right, dope.
So how about you? How about you, Ryan?
I really didn't have a lot of bad things to say about it. I think it was the last one that I watched in order. I watched the other two first, and I think the thing that I noticed the most is that this one has a more of a contemporary shooting style where everything is a little bit closer up and you get to like really follow the action of the scene really well, where Conan and the others are a bit, you're getting a bit more of a landscape shot and a lot more wide angles. So I kind of appreciated that, felt the familiarity there. And everything that was said character-wise, development, loved all of it. So I'm just gonna focus on the little tiny things that I did. The interior lighting pissed me off to no end. If they could not have found more white modern lights if they it was their life's mission to do so. It was like someone had just flicked on the normal lights and there were LEDs.
That was the TV of it, right? That's what I was picking. My brain was like,
Yeah,
this
Yes, that's what it-
TV movie look.
Yeah, that's where it came from. Is they just needed way better interior lighting. All the outside shots look beautiful, everything, but like no, when they got inside, when they were all sitting around the table eating dinner, and then there was another one. I think they were at a bar, and I was just like, what is happening? Throw a gel on that thing. But anyway,
Yeah.
throw a gel on that.
just throw a gel on it. Also, Charlie getting married, I was kind of like, what the fuck? We literally just met this whole Mexican pueblo. Like, what are we talking here?
Well,
Like,
that's the
we're just-
point. That's the point.
Also,
But
there
he's
might
like
have been some-
sobbing about her. He's like,
there
"But I
might have
gotta
been
wa-"
some stuff-
Dude, he's-
it's possible there was some stuff that was cut out, like maybe because the
True.
scene where he went and he was with the prostitute lady, he just wanted her to hold him. Some stuff
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
cut out was that she was his mother. That's why he wanted her to hold him like a mother. Yeah,
What?
yeah,
It's just.
yeah. But they cut these parts out, so
But
I'm wondering
wait,
if there was
wait,
other...
but he still had to pay her?
Does she know that that's his
Yeah,
her son?
I have a feeling. I'm not sure if she knew. I always got the
Damn,
sense that she
mama.
didn't
Asking
know.
all the right questions,
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah, right.
Okay, I mean, like, because that completely changes everything, right?
Doesn't
Like,
it?
because if it's actually his mom, that makes it really sad in every way. Whereas
Yeah.
if
He
it's
still had
just
to
a
pay her,
prostitute and he just wants someone to hold him, that's like touching and fucked
Tender.
up and like
Yeah.
and like
In a more
showing.
specific way.
Yeah, and
but if
and
he has to pay his mom for love, oof.
yeah, that's
right?
wow.
Yeah. I didn't learn that until today when I watched that video I was telling you guys about.
Oh,
I'll try to remember
wow.
to link it. I was like, wow, that makes sense, but I
Charlie
didn't
is
realize that.
Charlie is the saddest story
Yeah.
of the whole
Poor
whole
Charlie.
bunch. Like when he got married, I don't know, trying to watch it with my now mind, I was like, oh, this is the moment where the audience is supposed to know he's gonna die.
Yes, exactly. That's what it
Right.
felt like to me. That was
Yeah.
that was my only complaint because I was like, oh, they're just throwing this in there because like he has to die. That's kind of how it felt. But overall, though, those were the only kind. Oh, and it also just had like the quickest denouement in history. It was just like this whole big gunfight, and then it was like, and nothing else happens. But
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
those were, but
Bit of a
otherwise,
clumsy ending.
but otherwise thoroughly enjoyed it. I would give it a. I'm gonna just go ahead and go. But
Wait. That's everybody? That's everybody? Okay, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Go ahead.
I think it is.
Wait. Everyone in the chat, if you have
Oh.
not already told us your rating out of 10, please do so for Young Guns.
I haven't seen the chat, so I don't know. Have they been?
Or
throwing up?
young
They did at the
Dumbs,
very beginning.
as
Yeah,
I call
there was
it.
a bunch of them.
Okay, all right.
Or young dumbs, as I call it.
Okay, Ryan.
I'm giving this one an 8.5.
Woo.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay. All right, so I went first. I'll go ahead and give it another 9. Another 9 for me.
Very
I
generous.
love this movie. I love this
Yeah,
movie.
I had a great
Like
time watching it. Yeah.
And the same with Conan.
That's fun.
All of my nitpicks are just that. I don't
Yeah.
give a shit. None of that has really stopped me from enjoying this movie. It's just fantastic.
Yeah. I'll give it an 8. 7.5 to 8, but I'll go with 8. Also, something I noticed in this movie that I never, like when I rewatched it, that I never noticed before, that I could tell that Kiefer's Canadian because of the way he said sorry. Sorry.
Oh, he did it. Yes, I noticed that too.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
even wrote it down.
I
Sorry.
also just a quick note. I also didn't notice that the main bad guy was Irish.
Until
yeah,
like
he's
the
supposed to be
end.
Irish. Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
no. When I first heard him at the beginning, when I watched it this time, I was like, oh, that's an Irish accent. What the fuck?
I guess that never really sank in either. Oh well.
All right, Rich.
I give it a 7.5.
7.5. Ahmed.
And Ahmed's
I
going to come
give
in
it
with
a
a
5.
5. Okay. Hey, that's not
like
not
he's
too
going to
bad.
come in with a
That's
5.
5.
Oh, Ahmed, what did you think of Emilio? Emilio!
Emilio, I don't know. He got on my nerves. I don't
Okay.
know. This movie just didn't land for me.
Okay.
After hearing your reviews, I feel shocked.
Kiss Kiss Bang Bang
I'm
didn't
like,
land
what
with
did
you
I-
either.
yeah,
Ahmed.
that's
I don't
exactly.
Like, what
This
is
is the
going
one
on
that just-
with you?
I just this
You've
just
already
got on my
discredited
nerves a
your
lot.
opinion with Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Oh,
Yep.
there you go. Exactly.
Sid, what was your score?
I said I would give it an 8. I was torn between a 7.5 and an 8. I'll give it an 8.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. What do we got? Enigma.
Yeah, he's still
the-
very
I'm the
scarred
soil I
scarred
called
by
on.
what you did with Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Like
Yes,
your reaction to that has scarred him, I do believe.
So our score is 7.5, and the audience is 6.9.
Okay.
Nice.
They're not
That
that wrong.
audience
They're not
score
that wrong.
almost identically matches the IMDb.
6.8. Yeah.
Yeah. That's fine.
Actually, we didn't check Conan. Conan.
I think Conan
Conan
might
was
be in the
6.9.
6s. Yeah.
6.9.
Also nice.
Yep.
Same rating.
Okay, guys, we have
Buckaroo.
an hour and 27 minutes in. Let's try. Okay.
Let's land this
Go fast.
third.
I don't have a lot to say about this one.
Okay. I don't either. Who wants to go first?
I would love to start.
okay, yeah,
I
go.
I feel like the studio told the writer that they needed to connect with a younger audience, and so his solution was to find the first 11-year-old boy on the street and ask him to describe the coolest person ever, because it was like because I feel like this was like an 11-year-old's version of who you want to grow up to be. Like the dude, like starts out doing brain surgery, then is also this portal jumping scientist who's a rock star who meets the girl Penny Pretty, and then also saves the world from aliens. It's like, what an absurd set of shit happens in this movie. But yeah, I thought it was just a blast to watch. I thought it was absolutely ridiculous. I loved that of all things, he has a Mach 1 Ford F-150. Loved that. John Lithgow, completely, his accents are wild, but
he was
he
crazy.
plays it. He like got exactly what it was supposed to be. It was just like it was an incredible villain. I mean, he still might be my favorite villain from TV too, Dexter season 4. But
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Also, Jonathan Banks with hair from Breaking Bad, the Mike from Breaking
Yeah.
Bad. He was the
Wait,
the,
what?
he's the
Yeah, he was
hospital
the
attendant
orderly.
that gets like choked up against the wall and dies.
Is there a picture of him?
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
sure
look
we'll
up-
get
look
there.
Yeah.
I think we passed a picture of him
Yeah,
being
he
choked.
has. It's a very quick scene.
Yeah, it's
no,
him.
this,
He
this
goes.
movie
He goes
is
into.
chock full of like stars.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
really is.
He was really young in this movie.
There were some incredible one-liners. Like they're at the height of like, the climax of things, and Jeff Goldblum is just like, "Why is there a watermelon in there?" He's like, "I'll tell you later."
Yeah.
They just keep like,
yeah, I wrote that down
was like,
too.
yeah, I was like, great.
Someone
and
said
then-
it was like howdy doody.
Yeah, and then in his like big like Hitler emulating speech, John Lithgow was like, "Where are we going?" They're like, "Planet 10. When are we going? Real soon." I just,
Stupid.
it's just so dumb. It was great. No, I thought it was a lot of fun. Was it a good movie? Not really, but I had a fun time watching it. I thought it was hilarious, and that's my take.
I'll go next. This movie's awful. I couldn't stand it. I was really hoping I was gonna enjoy it and have a moment of nostalgia for like the 80s or something, but it's just a shit sandwich. Like it's just really bizarre how like the whole plot is just like awful. It seems like a lot of it's improvised, but it's not really funny.
There's a plot?
Yeah, totally. But it's not.
There's a
It's
plot,
just not
okay.
funny. It's like, I mean, why is Jeff Goldblum wearing that stupid cowboy outfit? Is Buckaroo Banzai? Is it a comic? No,
I
it's
think
not.
it's a series
It
of books.
thinks it's a comic.
Well,
I don't know
think-
what it
Yeah.
is.
It seems
He
like
was
it
wearing
should
the
be,
cowboy.
Is it a
right?
series of books? Is it? Because then that would make sense. Because maybe all this this
Enigma.
dumb shit happens in the book. Because
I think he was
otherwise-
wearing the cowboy thing because he thought he was going to band practice with them.
Right,
I don't know
but
that he.
does that make sense though? Think about that, because I thought the same thing.
He
was like-
liked the village people. Shut up.
It's exactly, but it didn't. There was no explanation. He just shows up, and everybody's like, "Cool, you're wearing a cowboy outfit, no problem." Nobody made a comment. Nobody. It just
Yes, and that's why I thought it was fucking hilarious. I was like,
It
this is
seemed
so
like
stupid.
the props department was just working with like mud. Like all the set pieces are ugly. Look at this garbage.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
everything
Yep.
is everything
You
is
are
ugly.
not-
It looks like made of macrame. Like it's just
You are not saying any incorrect things. You are not saying anything
like,
wrong. Yeah.
I mean, Christopher Lloyd was in it. Cool, but the aliens were just stupid. She was annoying. Like they just put
He has
they put a
suitcases.
Broadway trained actress in the middle of this movie, and she's just the whole time just
Eating the scenery.
overacting.
Yeah, absolutely.
And she's supposed to be the pretty one. I didn't understand. And I mean the rocket car test in the very beginning almost seemed like it was going somewhere interesting. Initially, it felt like like Doctor Strange or something. I don't know, but then it just kind of just falls apart. You could follow the plot for the most part, but just all the beats are stupid. I like how these alien faces looked just like the actors. Like that was the one
Yes,
thing I was
yeah,
like,
I did. I love that.
They really nailed it. That looks like Christopher Lloyd alien. That looks like that dude. I don't know his name, but he's in everything. That guy with the he has a weak chin, but he's like in everything.
I feel like these are kind of like precursors to like the scary
And then-
movie franchise.
And then the ending of them just walking together
Just
was
walking
just
down
like,
the.
what the
What is
the
this?
viaduct in L.A. or whatever. It's
Yes.
just
Yeah.
like, let's just throw a bunch of stuff together and see if it sticks. This movie felt like it was trying to capitalize on whatever trend was happening in the time, but didn't itself have like an identity that stuck. But when I talk to my friends about it, I think there are people. I guess it depends on whether or not you were Stockholmed by it at that particular time. Like if you watched it enough as a kid that it kind of stuck in a way that was meaningful. But I never did. I never watched it. So watching it now is just like, ugh, the skinny ties and the
Oh,
I
Clancy
don't know,
Brown. Yeah, I forgot. He
Yeah,
was-
Clancy Brown was one of
Yeah.
them as well. And there was a lot of, and then the kid shows up with his dad, like he's like in the club, like, and he,
Yes, yes.
I don't know, and they have a helicopter, and it just, I don't know, it felt like
Hey,
the
he stole
Dakota
my
Ring
helicopter.
kids movie, like, yeah, and he was talking to him like he was a serious member of the team. It was just,
Yes.
it was a kids movie. That's it. It was a kids movie, but I did not. And there was so many actors in it. So many actors that would go on to
So
do
many
amazing things.
Legendary
I
actors.
love the
And
bubble
then-
wrap.
and then-
I know. I love that shit. I was like, just bubble wrap.
It's like they gave up. They didn't know. They gave up on their props department.
See, we're seeing the same thing, but I love it. I think it's so dumb.
Oh, so you enjoy bad movies.
No,
Yes,
I
because
do
I
too.
at the
do
beginning,
too, but
that
this-
crawl started, and I went, oh, fucking buckle up. Okay, that's what this is going to be. I was like, because that thing didn't even see a copy editor. That was their first draft, and they threw it on the screen. And so I was like, okay, this is what this is going to be. I see.
Yeah.
And so then I accepted it from that moment,
You
and then
were
had
ready.
a lot of fun.
You were
yeah,
prepped.
I was
yeah.
disappointed. Yeah, because I didn't. Yeah, I didn't. This
That shit. It's so great. It's, yeah.
awful. Like why?
Oh,
Why?
he really hammed that up too.
What is? You know, it reminded me of Howard the Duck.
Real
You
quick,
remember
we
Howard
have
the
to
Duck?
put this on someday.
Yes.
Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah.
How many? Oh wait, has everyone here seen it?
Yes,
I have not.
I've seen it.
Or maybe
At
a long
least
time
twice.
ago.
Yeah, I
Rich, have you
recently
seen it?
watched it from a channel.
This movie? No.
No, Big, Trouble in Little China.
Big Trouble.
Oh yeah, no.
Ah,
It's one of my
damn.
favorite movies.
Yeah.
And then
Damn
it's
it.
I
his
have.
girlfriend
I
that
don't think I've seen it,
died.
but I don't remember.
That's like her sister, and he's like gonna make out with her sister because she looks just like
Yeah,
her.
it's like your
his
twin. or
ex-
something.
Yeah, you get a second
Girlfriend?
chance.
Oh.
He's like, oh, round two.
I'm so glad he went on to make RoboCop.
Yeah.
Was this before or after RoboCop?
This is before.
This was before.
Before. Okay.
All right,
What a stupid
Rich,
movie.
do you want to go ahead and go?
Yeah, I'm not sure if I watched a movie or if I don't remember, and I had a Benadryl fueled fever. Like this movie was like so dreamlike, like and it's just like a bunch of random events strung together. This guy is like he's a neurosurgeon, a scientist. He has a band. He has this heart of gold where he hears a random woman crying. He's like, I'm gonna stop everything for the show.
I stopped
Yes.
the
I'm
whole
gonna play you
show.
a little music solo.
Yes. Yeah,
And
it
then
was-
they're fucking aliens from the eighth dimension.
Yeah, not just, and they're coming from space, but they're also coming from the wall.
Yes.
So there's you really had to like understand that. It just and they always never there was never not an
Yeah.
opportunity
Yeah,
for
yeah.
her to
Oh,
show her
he
legs.
he
Yeah.
is a samurai and he has a
the
little like
Rasta guy.
dojo.
Yeah,
in
they're
his,
all
like, his
they're
tour
all
bus
Jamaican.
HQ. The good guy, yeah, the good aliens were all Jamaican.
Oh shit!
A
I don't know
bombo
what to
clot.
do with it. They just did anything. They just did anything. This
Yes,
movie was
exactly.
like they were all on coke.
just threw
and they
everything
just
at
did
the wall.
anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were just on set and they were like, "Hey, John
See,
McPhail's like, I can
I-
do this really weird voice."
Like,
He was
the
like,
whole
"That
Right
guy."
now, Ahmed. Right now, Ahmed, you're like saying a bunch of things that makes me look back and like the movie.
I know. Everything you're saying, I'm nodding and going, yep, that's correct.
You're
Yep.
like, you know
You're
what?
right.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, actually.
I couldn't get it out of my head that Buckaroo Banzai just looked like the lead singer from Talking Heads.
Oh, right. Yeah, David
Just
Byrne.
this like weird like outfits that he had.
They were like Team
bow tie.
Banzai or something, like superheroes, but you couldn't really tell what each of their jobs was.
No, not at all.
specifically.
Yeah, they were just a
kinda-
bunch of dudes.
It just, yeah.
Yeah, they all had they were all like their own distinct like guy. They had an in-universe comic book, like he was a comic book hero, but he was also
Right.
a real person.
Yeah,
And people know him like, oh, it's the Buckaroo Banzai comic. This is
guy.
like,
Yeah, he's like Tony Stark or whatever, right? Or,
he
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
I think, he's like he does everything.
except without the cred, without the Marvel cred.
Yeah. Yeah, good shit. Anything more, Rich?
This movie was just like so fucking weird.
Yeah.
It's kind of a drag, actually.
All right, Sin.
I'm with Ahmed on this. The very first time I saw it was probably way back in the 80s. And I remembered enjoying it at the time, but I was also very young and I don't know. You know, my tastes have changed. I've grown up. I've matured.
I
I
haven't matured
rewatched this.
I'm matured. I'm a lady now.
I rewatched this the other day, and it was terrible. It was a slog to get through. I couldn't wait for it to be
Yes.
over.
Oh,
it was
so
so
bad.
chaotic and ridiculous. Like,
bad.
he's a brain surgeon, as we already said. He's a scientist. He's a rocker. His crew's running around with guns for no reason. They're just running around with guns. They got a gun
Yeah, they got
handy.
guns. The
and-
government's working with them for some reason.
Yeah, the government's working with him. He's able to talk to the president. They pick up this strange Penny, and they bring her to a press conference.
Yeah,
Like,
oh, that was
what
the
was
worst.
that
Thank you
about?
for reminding me of that. Thank you for reminding me of that. They
Wait.
had an official. They had a
Like, why? Why was she even there?
You're an
She
important
was-
member of a team.
And
right
then
now.
not only why was she even there, but now she has something to say, and they
Yeah,
totally
it
like.
was-
What do you have to say, Penny? And she had all this stuff to say, and she is.
Yeah,
That
I don't
moment
know.
when like they're at the concert and they all pull out guns, I'm like, what?
Yeah,
Here's an Uzi.
like why? I mean,
Holy shit!
like it just like it didn't
everybody's
match. Like,
strapped.
Yeah, everyone was strapped.
yeah,
Yeah.
it felt so like, oh, okay, I guess this is their, I don't know, their.
But the thing is the movie was like aware that he was doing that too, because one of the band members, when he's like doing his little like bit with Penny and doing like all this sentimental shit, he just goes, "This is weird." I was like, yes, yes, it
There's a lot of
is.
improv. There's a lot of improv.
It's. I mean,
This is
yeah.
highly rated though. This
Yeah.
is a highly
Yes.
rated film
I
with
can't
fans.
believe it. That's,
Yeah,
that's
it is.
upsetting.
Yeah,
Nerds.
it is. You should read some of the Letterboxd reviews. That was where I saw where someone was talking about that Penny was the Princess Peach to Buckaroo's Mario, and
100%.
Jeff Goldblum's running around looking like Howdy Doody. You know, it was just really funny. Some of the reviews are so much better than the movie.
This picture's better than the movie. This
Yeah, I
picture's
agree.
like.
Agreed.
I love this picture.
I love their little turd spaceships.
Yeah.
Oh, exactly. It's like they gave up. See what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Turd.
yeah.
I was like, look at that
Awful
floating turd.
design.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gross.
Rich, is that all you got to say?
Yeah, I don't know what else there is. To
He's
say.
just shocked and
fucking
silent.
Work is
I-
excellent.
I also have very little to say. I'm going to go ahead and recuse myself again from rating it.
Oh gosh, because you love it, don't you?
No, I don't love it. I am
Why? Oh,
just
you couldn't finish it.
bewildered. No, I'm bewildered. I know I passed out at certain points,
Well,
but I don't know where they were.
Because you don't
was so
remember.
No,
awful.
I just
I think you should still rate it. Oh, there he
I
is.
don't-
There's Jonathan Banks. Go
I
back
don't.
one.
Oh yeah, can we go back?
I mean, it's a okay. Wow, that's
Oh,
a
wow.
terrible ass. But he was the guy that in the yeah.
Okay, I need to see this.
Yeah,
All right,
that's right.
Here's
That's
the
right. He
thing.
was in it.
By the end of the movie, I didn't know what I just watched.
Correct.
I was like,
Yeah.
I don't think you're supposed
what?
to.
What the?
Yeah.
What the
You
fuck
you
was
should still
that?
rate it. Yeah, still rate it.
Yeah, you got to
You
still
didn't
rate
miss-
it.
The
'cause,
thing is,
you know.
the thing is, Jeff. The secret is you didn't miss anything. It's a movie.
Yeah,
It's a movie that
exactly.
makes you feel like you missed something, but you didn't miss anything. And
Okay.
like by the end, yeah, if you catch it in the middle at any point, you're gonna feel like you missed something, but you really never.
They
actually
made it
missed
even sound like they were going to have another movie too at the end.
Oh,
Didn't
yeah.
make it sound
so
like
glad
they
they
put it in the credits.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
were
I
like,
know.
Bonsai
Be
It
on the
never happened,
lookout.
thank
They
goodness.
were so sure that it was gonna.
Oh, there's that
gonna be
F-150,
great.
baby.
Someone pointed out exactly what I meant. I know I passed out at a certain point sounds like a fever dream to me. And that is what it felt like. It was like,
Yeah.
what? I couldn't tell when I was watching the movie and when I wasn't, because I'm kind of like looking around like, what is even...
Like,
Is
I don't
there
want
a
to.
plot? I forgot even what is
Yeah.
going on.
Well,
So-
okay, let's look at like I think it just has the makings of a perfect cult classic movie because like okay, look at I don't want to get us on a huge side tangent here, but like Rocky Horror Picture Show. What the fuck's
Yeah.
happening in that? I love that movie.
I haven't seen it.
But
I
it's
still
like-
haven't seen that movie.
Okay, don't go. We're gonna go sometime, but
Okay.
like take you to a shadow cast and like
Yeah,
do
yeah.
all of the props and everything.
Okay. But yeah, guys, there's so many great actors in it, right? There's lots of fun ideas. There's lots of random bullshit. And honestly, I'm kind of into random bullshit. I like stupid things.
Yes, me too.
But even this one was like
Yeah.
a step away. And like, I honestly really want to watch it again because of just academic fascination. Like,
Look at this. Look at this.
Look at-
Yeah, there's just turds.
awful
There's just turds everywhere. Yeah.
like
just
I
live
that
in
was
shit.
that,
And
I,
what?
maybe,
Like, why are they that high? Why? what
that's
purpose
so
does that serve?
I
Why are
think
they
it's 'cause
10
they,
feet in the
they
sky?
can they can jump really high. I guess that's
Oh, that's
Oh,
true.
yes,
but
that's
like,
right. They can. But
But
still.
why?
yeah, but like, but
That's
also
like
I
one of-
can
that's one of
like I
their-
can
that's
bench
one of
press, but that
their
doesn't mean I want to open my
abilities.
fridge to do it. Like,
yeah.
like
so I think that's what it is. It's like everything. If there's one thing that I've
The legs again.
noticed from all these stills is that every scene is jam packed with junk. There's just everything.
shit everywhere.
Very
Shit
chaotic. Yeah.
everywhere. And that's
Messy.
probably why I couldn't get my bearings ever. Because I just why everything I looked at I was going why and I could not concentrate on the actual, if there is a plot of any kind, I could not concentrate on it because I was so left behind by everything that was happening. So yeah, it's hard for me to. I can't rate this because
yes, you can.
I was
Yeah.
I was
Sorry,
in a
Gillian
way
Flynn, but it was
enjoying
You
it.
you still
Absolutely right.
you still need
But-
to give it a rating, Jeff. Come
Well,
on.
here's
You
what I'm gonna
did
do.
watch it.
What I'm planning on doing is giving it a real film rating, like how it does as a film, and then like my enjoyment rating.
Okay.
Because because yeah, they're
Okay.
two different things.
I'll do that too.
yeah.
All right. So that's
Well,
that's
start
it.
us off then.
That's all I have to say about this
Yeah.
movie. All right. So
Also,
yeah, let's
just the
let's
fact
see.
that I will accept people referring to me as John Smallberries. Everyone's name is John. It's
So
just
Eric
Right,
says
all the Johns,
Eric says that looks like a Terry Gilliam film, but it isn't.
But it is,
Kind
yeah.
of, yeah. It's like if Terry Gilliam was tripping on something, like, which is hard to imagine because he's already so trippy.
Garbage,
But like,
scientists, look at the garbage vehicle they made.
it's all junk. It's all garbage bullshit, and like I'm fascinated. I have to say I'm fascinated that this movie exists.
So much
It's amazing that like
What?
can you
what was
imagine the
budget
budget
of
behind this?
movie?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Can you imagine the budget on this
Oh, God,
heaping
let's-
pile of
maybe
shit?
we should just look at it.
Oh my
Oh,
god,
they're
look
gonna
how
let
high
us-
it's
they're
rated.
not gonna
Wow, it's
let us
crazy.
see it.
Crazy. 6.2 on
Where-
IMDb.
Ugh.
It's even higher on Letterboxd, I think.
It has
Maybe.
a $17 million budget.
Wow,
Okay. Well,
wow.
where did
Wow.
that?
Why?
I would
Why?
expect.
Well, where? It's the cast.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
The cast and the
Yeah,
set
but
design.
they
Oh,
weren't
Jamie
they-
Lee
huge.
Curtis was apparently in a version of it as his mom. Because his mom was
yeah.
supposed to be a white lady and his dad was a Japanese guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was in the crawl.
Okay, so yeah, let's
All right.
let's start collecting numbers. Anyone else in the chat?
Yeah.
Please give us your numbers. I only saw like a few.
It is
I
the
saw
extra
3.
credit, so.
You
I
found
have
three. Okay.
six average so far from the audience.
Oh my
Um,
goodness gracious.
Ryan, did you want to go first with your number?
Sure, I will say as a film, it's like it's a 2. It's like not a good movie at all. But with my enjoyment rating, I'm gonna I would say it's like a 6 point.
So should we go
to
somewhere in
6.5.
between that for your
I'm gonna
actual rating?
I'm gonna say no, like including it. It takes it up to a 6.5
Oh, okay.
because of how much I enjoyed how dumb it was.
Okay.
Okay.
Who's next?
I'm giving it a 1. I didn't
Oh,
like
this
it.
is a low it's a low budget movie. This is a low budget movie. Okay, I wasn't aware.
Low budget?
We have no
17 million was
reference.
low budget back in the 80s?
I mean, they're saying this is.
I think it was anything
trash of
under,
a
like,
film that was
50.
seminal in the annals of low-budget cinematic resourcefulness. Makes you feel special that I'm happy for it. It was a user review, but they're saying it's because it does look cheap, right? Like it looks pretty cheap. Gross $6 million, so it was a bomb.
Wow. Yeah.
Who else hasn't given theirs? Ahmed?
Yeah, I'd give it a 2.
Oh, you were
Rich?
kinder to it.
I'll give it a 4.
Oof. Okay.
This movie is just a mess. I
Yeah.
still don't entirely understand what it's about. But it's ridiculous and random, and it's unique for that. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all, the
Yeah,
Conan movie only had a production budget of 20 million.
Yeah.
This was 11.
Wait, 17 was it?
I thought it was 17.
17?
I don't know.
That's
I don't
a
know.
lot
I
of
didn't.
money.
I didn't look it up. I heard it from somebody else. Okay, I'm gonna give it a 3, as far as like craftsmanship.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be with you, Ryan, like 6.5 for enjoyment, just like out of fucking curiosity. Just like,
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
did this movie happen? What the fuck?
Yeah.
It's fascinating. It's fascinating as an event in history.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
Yeah. So
I got a 3.3 from us
okay.
and a 5.5 from the audience.
All right. Cool.
Okay, good.
Oh,
it was,
yeah.
It was a flying turd like the aliens. and-
Yep.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. Dumb.
All right, well
Okay.
done, man.
Cool. Well, that's our movies for today. Let's
Yeah.
do the fastest choosing of our next
Oh, good
episode.
Okay, first
ever.
we
Okay,
need our
yeah.
books.
Let's
What are
look
the
at
release-
I
our
was
release
getting ready to
calendar.
pull up the calendar. You started talking about it before I had a chance to get to the
Let's
calendar.
pick the books first before we even think about movies.
We're
Yeah.
talking about. Oh, remember we were debating whether we were going to be able to do this in November because Vegas is happening.
Yeah.
So we might remember how we
Can we
talked about
flip
the
flop
possibility.
weeks?
Yeah, but then we lose something else, I guess.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah,
Well,
Vegas.
aren't there
I mean,
pre-releases or pre-recorded ones?
There's pre-recorded stuff like on the.
Do you guys
Oh,
want to do
that's
a
a good point.
pre-recorded?
Oh no,
And-
no! What he meant was to do the pre-recorded. Like, is it the fourth
Or
week of
off
the
week.
pre-recorded week? We could put that in the slot and then do the show at the end of the month.
Yeah.
Is what he meant. Just
You
push
mean
it.
like
Oh, duh.
Just let's do that.
Yeah.
Okay,
Let's
that's
push it to the
absolutely
27th.
impossible because we are
Oh, the
so
27th
behind.
is no. The
We are
27th
so
is-
behind on pre-produced material, guys. Last month's pre-produced still isn't finished. I meant to talk to you about this, Ahmed, but the actual video, so there's all sorts of production reasons why this is a
Understood.
problem.
Understood.
okay?
So let's get.
So,
well-
but my accidental misunderstanding of what you were saying still could apply. Maybe we can record ourselves doing a review day, but then post it.
on the
Yeah.
13th.
Pre-recorded. Yeah, but then we
Yeah.
can't engage with the audience.
I understand,
Yeah, that's a
and
bummer.
audience, we love engaging with you, but this is like the only, unless you guys can think of another practical way to do this, because I don't think
The only
I don't
other
think we're
option
gonna find
is
time
to
in
not
Vegas.
do it.
Let's just
That's
skip
the only
it.
other
It's
option.
okay.
And
Just
I don't,
skip it?
Yeah, it's okay.
I don't think-
Let's skip it, and then do we? Are we?
Jeff is like-
would that be the last one? November. After that, we're on break. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
That's
I
our
thought
last
that even
one
though
for
we
the
were on
season.
break, cinema still continues.
Yeah, you
Oh,
know
that's
what?
true.
Let's do the next one second week of December, and let's. Well, actually, let me look at the calendar. Actually, hang on. But yeah, we can't do it fourth week of November because that's Thanksgiving. So
That's
Right.
like the
just not gonna
Wednesday
work.
before
That's gonna be
Thanksgiving, and
goofy.
everybody's going to be.
Oh,
probably
what
doing
about?
their-
Yeah, no, there's only 4 weeks. 6th, 13th, 20th, 27th. December, we could do it on the 4th of December.
Audience, would you prefer not having any cinema or having a cinema that you can't interact with us?
Or we could just do it on like the 4th, like you were saying, or not the 4th,
Yeah,
but the
Well, the
December
4th. But then,
December
okay,
4th?
so then we just don't do it on December 11th. Then we flip flop 2 variety shows.
No,
Oh, I see
because
what
we're
you're
off
saying.
season. We're off season in December.
Oh,
Right, exactly.
Oh,
Yeah,
So
okay,
we're not
it
so
would be
that
2
shouldn't
weeks
even
in a
have-
row. It'd be 2 weeks in a row. December 4th would be like the
Oh,
week.
so you want to do 2 cinemas in a row? Is that
Oh
what
no,
you're
I
saying?
didn't mean that at all. No, I just meant let's just do it in the place of the other one. I just chose the 4th randomly, but no, if you want to
'Cause,
keep
I mean,
it
we
on
already
schedule,
have it
then let's
on
do
the
the
schedule
11th.
for the
Let's just do the 11th. I think that's the
No, okay.
that's the
Aw,
safest
Jeff is
bet. 'Cause
disappointed.
then
All right.
everybody's gonna be able to see the movies and stuff. It's gonna be a busy
Aw,
month.
Jeff, poor Jeff.
It's okay.
I mean,
right, so-
I wouldn't mind if you wanted to do the recording, but whatever.
I don't think. Okay, so
We definitely
December.
wouldn't be able to engage with the fans.
Yeah, we won't be able to. Okay, so
Yeah.
let's just pick our movies for December then.
Okay,
Yeah.
for December 11th. So
Okay.
Well, we need
more Earth
releases.
Force. Earth Force. What the Frost is supposed to go up for pre-order. Potentially Bones, but we don't know yet. Blood Mercenaries. That's November.
Another
stuff.
fantasy. I mean, if
I'm
we're
sorry,
doing another
I'm
fantasy,
sorry, that's December stuff.
Okay.
I'm just throwing out stuff at you.
We need to
we have
do November
another
stuff, too.
time-marked Warlock. We have another time-marked Demon
we need
card.
November stuff too. Yeah. Okay.
That's what
Demon
That's what
card.
I'm talking about right now. Tour box set, time-marked Demon card for Pilgrims. Another Blood
I have a
Origins,
suggestion
Magical Girl
for-
Crystal, Genocide or Homicide or whatever it's called.
Genocide. Yep.
I have a suggestion.
When
for
life
Earth
gives
Force.
you something. Sorry, go ahead.
American
Earth Force?
Astronaut.
For what?
American Astronaut.
Or Earth
I've not heard of
Force.
that one.
Oh,
Like
I
a
haven't either.
movie.
Okay, I haven't heard of it. Sounds interesting. Let's just put it up there, because we need to get the
already
fuck
did.
out of here like soon.
I already
super
did. I'm
soon.
just looking up the deets.
We have
American
two different fantasies to deal with: Blood Mercenaries and Tor. Can we do Conan the Destroyer?
I'm down for Conan the Destroyer. It's not going to be as good as the first one, but I'm down for it.
I was like, I feel like there
I think-
might
I think
be
that's a great
better
idea.
fantasy. Maybe. I would
think
be
there's a
down for
better-
it though.
Okay, let's do it. Let's.
I think it'd be.
we got to
I think
decide
it'd be
fast.
great to.
Kind
I
of
think it'd be a
follow
great
up.
follow
Is this
up
the
on
one?
the first one.
Is this the
Do,
one?
do,
Yep,
do
that's
you
the one.
guys do you guys also want to follow up like how we did Happy Death Day? Do you want to follow up with the sequel for Time Marked?
I'm
Have
okay
you,
with
have you heard
that.
of Edge of Tomorrow? The one with
I love that movie.
let's watch
That's
that
a good
I
one,
haven't seen it in
too.
a long time.
American Astronaut for Earth Force, and then what's the second one?
Conan.
Another fantasy, which
Conan
we
the
talked about
Destroyer.
Conan 2, yeah.
Oh, we are gonna do.
And then we
okay.
have like Time
Edge of
Marked,
Tomorrow.
Magical Girl. So we have potentially Edge of Tomorrow or Happy Death Day to you.
Also, Demon Card.
Demon Card, yeah.
So another gangster movie. Another gangster enforcer
Conan the
movie.
Destroyer is for what? Which book?
It's for Blood
Blood
Mercenaries.
Mercs and Tor.
Blood Mercenaries. Okay.
People, Enigma's talking about the Bone Collector, Predator. Okay, yeah. All right, I'm seeing Enigma's. Someone said Hellboy.
Do we
for
want to do Edge of
Pilgrims.
Tomorrow or Death Day 2 for Time Marked Warlock?
I very recently saw Edge
would
of
have to-
Tomorrow.
Yeah, I can't. Like, I've watched that movie so many times. I love it so much. I
Okay,
just,
let's do Death Day 2.
Okay.
Does that
Is it
require
for-
me
it
watching
kinda
Death Day
falls in
1
line
though?
with-
Is Death Day 1 good?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is this for?
Have you seen?
Okay.
Edge
Oh
of
yeah, you
Tomorrow?
should watch it. Yeah, it's good.
It's fun.
Okay.
It's super fun.
Okay.
You should watch
right,
it
so-
if you're going to be at the next one. You should watch it so you can kind of have.
Yeah,
a
I would.
reference.
I would. Yeah, totally.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Bill Underbridge says Maverick for Demon Card Enforcer.
Maverick's a great movie.
Is he a gangster though?
He's
Thought
a-
he was just like a thief.
He's a card player, right?
Right. That's
Yeah,
true.
it's about
That's
it's
why-
about
that's-
poker. So it's not. I mean, like there are
Cards.
cards. What is American Gangster?
American Gangster
American
is Denzel
Gangster-
Washington, yeah. And he's
Yes.
like a drug.
It's based
Well,
on a
that's a
true
good one.
story. Yeah.
Yeah, it is good. I just remember
Day
being young
to
and watching.
you. Happy Death Day to you.
Got it. Okay. Cool. We'll do that. What is? I don't know anything about American. Okay.
Thank you, Enigma.
2019.
Have I
Especially
seen it?
for
American
Joker, too.
Gangster. Can we look
I've
at pictures
Yeah,
of
yeah,
American
yeah, yeah,
Gangster?
yeah, yeah.
I've seen
I
American
will, I
Gangster,
will
yeah.
happily. It's a great.
Think
It's a
Idris
great movie.
Elba's
I
in
will
it?
happily put it up for you. Hang on.
No, I don't. Is he? Oh, he might be.
Yeah.
Yes, he might
Yeah,
have a
no,
little
this
bit.
is Denzel
Someone's
Washington.
mentioning.
Actually, I'm gonna
um,
go and watch this movie now. Probably.
Someone's mentioning Heat as well.
Heat's a great movie. I've been wanting to watch.
I
it.
haven't-
No, let's do
haven't
American
done-
Gangster. That looks. It's Denzel. I'm down.
Well, hang on though. I'm confused. Which three movies are we doing?
For Demon Card Enforcer
American-
would be American Gangster, I guess.
So
No, I
American
know, but
Gangster,
how many-
Conan
Time
the
We're doing
Marked.
three movies.
Yeah,
American Gangster,
for
Conan
Demon
the
Card.
Destroyer,
Conan the Destroyer.
What was the first
Tor
one?
Happy,
and
Happy Death Day to you.
Happy Death
For
Day.
American
Time
Astronaut.
Marked.
Oh, so we were doing American Gangster.
Oh no,
yeah,
no,
shoot.
it was American Astronaut. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's why.
That
I'm
was for
confused.
Earth Force. Oh yeah. So
Do we want to
ended
do
up talking about 4.
since we're skipping a whole one? Should we just do 4 movies instead of 3 for this next one?
I'm
I
fine
think
with
that's
that.
fair.
I'd be down for that.
I'm fine
Okay.
with that as well.
American
fine
Gangster,
with that.
American Astronaut,
Astronaut.
Happy Death
American
Day to
Eagle. Oh, sorry.
Conan the
Stop.
Destroyer.
you, Conan the Destroyer. We're trying to get out of here, man. Okay, right before the 2-hour mark, we're out of here, guys. Thank you so much for
Thank
hanging
you.
out with us. Do your homework, American Gangster, American
Yes.
Astronaut. Happy Death Day to you, and what was it?
American Gangster.
I already said that.
American-
I already
Happy
said
Death
that.
Day to you,
American
Conan the
Astronaut.
Destroyer, American Astronaut.
Conan the Destroyer. Conan the Destroyer. Okay,
Yes.
that's it. Bye, everybody.
I can't write fast enough.